Welcome, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the pre-Halloween League of Legends stream here at the University of Wisconsin River Falls. We got a doozy in store for you today. I am joined, as always, by my wonderful co-commentator, Gavin. Gavin, how are you tonight?
It's great to be here, Joe Exotic. I'm happy to have you here on the cast of River Falls versus... We didn't do our homework. I'll just put it at that.
KSU?
They know, yeah, KSU. They know who they are, and they're ready. They're ready to game. We're ready to game. We're ready to get on this rift, and we're ready to see some League of Legends.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't be more excited. We can jump right here into draft. Again,
Absolutely.
these are not – actually, these are in the exact order that are going to be picked. At least they're probably going to shuffle here in the next 5 seconds. But as we can see, top lane, Mbessa was picked away from Arrow Hunter in that mid lane, going up against Riven instead. How do you think this matchup's going to go?
I like it. A lot of mobility, a lot of CC power from both sides. There's a lot of sustain from both sides. Also, not having to deal with mana, so it's going to keep these players in their lanes. I think allowing for ample gank ability from both of our junglers here. I think Mbessa is going to really try to play around the Riven, and Alessio is really going to have to be on his toes and make sure, try not to make the first move as much as possible, but if he does make a first move, definitely have the rest of his kit available to back him up.
Absolutely. It's going to be a very interesting matchup considering that these are considered very early bursters and lane bullies, so it's going to be interesting to see how they butt heads. Mbessa can be a beast when accelerated, so let's see if Alessio can keep her in check. Meanwhile, moving into the jungle, Wukong. This is somebody that I've been playing a lot of. This is somebody that I'm very comfortable with, and this is why I'm worried for River Falls is this Orianna-Wukong combo. We can kind of talk about mid and jungle at the same time because they pair so well together on both teams. Orianna able to throw her little sphere onto the Wukong. He's able to W forward with the invisibility, maybe even get a flash or an E to get closer to the entire enemy team if they're overgrouped. Ultimate in order to spin them all up. And he actually has 2 charges of that ultimate, so he can spin them up again if he didn't get enough people. And then the Orianna Shockwave can come into effect. So that's the danger for the side of SVU. However, for River Falls, we have a very interesting combo that I think can work very well if executed properly. Graves and Irelia. Ironically, the range is going to be coming in from the jungle, albeit short range with a shotgun.
Right.
Nonetheless, Irelia is going to be frontlining in a lot of these 2v2s.
I think we have a lot of good, stalwart fighters. Not exactly tanks, but not exactly assassins. We saw Aurelia here from Arrow Hunter last week or 2 weeks ago, and he was absolutely, showing pinpoint precision, pinpoint accuracy. He was destroying his combos here. So looking to see similar moves from him here against this Orianna. We've seen the Orianna be played against us, and specifically against Arrow Hunter. So he's familiar with this matchup, and hopefully going to try and get some early picks, get some early moves on this Orianna, kind of try to keep her back, and then hopefully, if Mbessa is moving around the map, especially towards mid lane, we have a response from Peach on this Graves to do the same.
Yeah, and especially going up against a Wukong with this Graves pick, pre-Trinity Force, I guess pre-first item, depending on what kind of build path this Wukong wants to go, it can be very dangerous for the Wukong in their own jungle with Graves on the board, considering how easy it is for Graves to buff raid and invade. So it's going to be very interesting to see if the Peach that we know and love is going to consistently do her thing that we're used to her doing, aka invading at level 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
However, in the bottom lane, I think things are going to get a little bit more relaxed. We have 4 ranged characters right now. A lot of poke can be done if skill shots are hit. However, I think it's just going to be the scaling game.
And I think we get to see Senna on the opposing side this time rather than on Eerie. I believe Eerie's on the Seraphine, doing a little bit of AP ADC today. And then Karma from Mr. Wadsworth, who I don't believe we've seen yet this season. But I'm excited to see it. Used to play a lot of Karma. It's had so much fun watching Karma. I always love watching Karma with the ability that she has to, speed up her team, root her team, protect her team, and really start to go in, have some CC ability here, and really just, control this lane.
Absolutely. The players are feeling pump, and the coach seems very confident in this draft. So we're going to have to see how this goes. This is NECC. This is going to be the, I believe, is it a lower bracket run that we are doing now? Something akin to that, considering that we went
continuation, set 2, split 2.
2 games left of the regular season, as we are just informed. So it's going to be very interesting to see how River Falls can bounce back from an undefeated score after their loss last week. So let's see if some bounce backs can happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to see 3 games. I'd also love to see a 2-0 from River Falls here. We're waiting with bated breath, and we're rubbing our hands together to see an absolute wipe from River Falls here. They've shown a lot of prowess in this NECC. With these NECC teams, the game last week was the first game that they lost, putting their record at a 2-1. So they're hoping to, not keep their record tied and make some moves here today. And it looks like Peach is going to be setting up on the mid a little bit. Arrow Hunter's in the jungle to kind of give us some vision here and make some moves. Both going Red Smite here. You want to tell us a little bit about that? Is that the one that gives us some sight?
Yeah, so Red Smite is going to be very interesting on Wukong, especially if he's running Electrocute. Actually, he's going to be running, very interesting, Conqueror, but then running the Red Smite. Very, very interesting. Typically, what you want to do is you want to run Electrocute for the burst damage, but low tanky option, less health, less frontline, opportunistic, more of an opportunistic play style. However, with the precision runes that we're seeing right now, you would typically take the blue smite in order to have more of that mobility to engage more often, frontline more often, and accelerate in front of your team before the fight can even start. So it's very interesting that they took red smite, just going to maximize that damage once they hit later into the game, doing a lot more of the damage, especially coming out from bushes, applying that burn. So I think it's going to be more of a mixed build from this Wukong. Very, very interesting to see. However, on the Graves side is exactly what you want to see with the red smite, especially for a ranged character such as Graves. You can hit somebody from the bush and immediately proc it.
Absolutely. And Arrow Hunter trying to throw in some poke damage as he's been getting poked down by this Orianna here throughout the lanes. They're only like level 2 here, and he's already getting chunked. But we know Arrow Hunter when we love him, so he's fighting back and just doing what he does best. And there we are with a stun coming out and a lot of extra poke damage on J-Specs. He's trying to get a summoner spell out here, and there's the flash. And Arrow Hunter's actually going to answer that with the flash and get first blood, but fall in the process. But I think, if you're Arrow Hunter, you're definitely satisfied with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Put a bullet right between her freaking eyes. Send her right back to base right there. That's my Joe Exotic TV fan. I know that he knows what I'm talking about. Good trade in the mid lane. This is where you want to see the Irelia taking these kind of extended trades and picking up the 1-to-1, especially claiming first blood, even though it doesn't really do anything other than accelerate your way towards the feats of strength. However, again, 1-to-1 trade, it doesn't really matter. However, it's a big mental boom now for the Orianna, and he's able to get a sword right off of it.
Yeah,
One sword.
It's really powerful to be out of the gates and showing your prowess with especially a melee character versus a ranged character to say, hey, I'm here to fight too. And this might attract the Wukong from KSU to roam a little bit closer to mid lane, try to provide some support, and maybe even we'll see just Arrow Hunter looking to engage these 1v2s because we've seen him do these before and he's lived. So he might try to take this to advantage and kind of keep these jungle ganks from KSU on his lane rather than, top lane or bot lane. And Alezrio is getting poked down here by Eons, and the flash will come out from both sides. Alezrio is just unfortunately not able to get out there and really... and Peach is here to back us up with some smoke screens coming out and some dashes coming out, and both shots are expended. She's trying to reload here, but this Wukong is coming up, and Eons and Graves both are just kind of... sitting here, but the TP's coming back from Alezria. Graves is trying to do some extra poke damage to Eon, getting out of that lane. And a really solid crash here also for the River Falls minions on top lane.
Yeah, I think Alesri just pushing up a little bit too far forward, knowing that his jungler is coming, but instead biting off a little bit more than he can chew in the early stages of that engagement. Unfortunately, losing his life, however, like you said, crashing the wave and allowing his jungler to get top scuttle. That is actually a bigger win than you would think. Considering that the Wukong did not get the kill, Graves is actually going to be ahead in this game.
And are we tussling for the bot side scuttle as well as they both make their way too? Looks like Wukong is going to be recalling
Wukong
here.
has
Arrow
the back
Hunter
here.
is actually pushing pressure on the mid lane, forcing Wukong to answer it and just say, hey, by the way, I'm still here. Oh, I got a big red light here that says, warning, warning, I'm here. I'm here to protect my mid laner.
Oh, watch this. Very well done from Arrow Hunter to support. Everybody's just helping out Peach this game.
That's a double scuttle. Yeah.
Well done on the double scuttle. That's exactly what I like to see. As a fellow jungle main, that can mean everything in this early game, especially when first Drake spawns, which is going to happen very, very soon here.
Yeah, and I mean, we've seen this from River Falls teams across the weeks here and across this season. They definitely want to try and give Peach the most amount of resources that she can, or that she can get her hands on, so that she can really just roll any lane she walks up to. We're so ready to see that with this Graves, just hopefully being able to just walk up in lane, pop out that boomstick and do some real damage.
Yeah, absolutely. Alesria taking a poor trade on this top side. Unfortunately, Mbessa does have boots and a pickaxe, so can run him down very, very quickly after that first kill. However, just instead going to take it back. TP is not available, but I think he's just going to be fine with the walk back as the lane stabilizes.
And we do have to be a little bit careful as Mbessa does have that ultimate available to her, but we could shift a little bit of our focus. We talk about the top lane, we talk about the mid lane so often because these observer, the base observer cam just loves focusing in on all the tussles that happen specifically on top lane, and then Arrow Hunter, wherever Arrow Hunter is, stunning onto this Orianna and just forcing her to push back and fall back. Literally nothing that she can do until Arrow Hunter turns his back and walks away, and that's when that moment comes in and Orianna feels, oh, you know what, maybe I can do a little bit, and then this Arrow Hunter turns around and goes for it again.
He does have the lifesteal from the sickle and Doran's blade, so it's going to be very, very difficult for this Orianna to keep up once Arrow Hunter hits that level 5. However, opting to pull back instead because the wave has crashed and Orianna does have that shockwave available, so doesn't want to bite off any more than he can chew.
I think we're going to be seeing a little bit of a slower lane from bot side here on River Falls, because definitely having these two AP champions. Granted, Karma is able to provide a lot of artillery fire and a lot of just damage and chunking to the health bars in general. But Eerie is definitely going to need more time to stack up. He's got the Dark Seal already.
Peach is here.
Which is something we love to see. And Mr. Wadsworth is in it, and Eerie is also, I thought he was recalling there, but Mr. Wadsworth is going to pick up this kill, and this next kill is going to go to Graves and Peach, and we're going to claim some feats here as well while we're at it.
That's fantastic
That's
from River
great.
Falls. Good team play. Eerie to stay in the lane even though taking down very, very low, relying on his team to not be engaged upon. Considering that Winter still had the flash available, could have died at any moment during that fight. Wadsworth allowing himself to be the victim, the target. He was more than willing to suicide there for the double kill. Didn't even end up needing to, but the thought was there. Very good trust and communication from River Falls there, and that's what picked him up the double and led to the Drake.
Oh, and Arrow Hunter just barely narrowly misses that ultimate on this Orianna, but I think if he definitely hit that, Wukong would have been swooping in there, and Wukong still level 5, doesn't have the ultimate available. Arrow Hunter is still fighting, sees Wadsworth trying to make something happen here. Orianna's right there, Senna is
Shockwave.
Very close, and so is Wukong. Arrow Hunter unfortunately going to fall, getting stunned out by the Senna's W there, and just getting laid in.
Yeah, lack of respect from the Orianna Shockwave. Again, all of River Falls knew that was available, but instead they opted to push at the exact same way anyway. So that's why she was able to get a good angle there. However, not too bad for Arrow Hunter or River Falls. They will lose Grubs here. However, again, they did get that early Drake and an acceleration into the bottom lane. Winter had to actually rotate all the way up, and that's why Eerie was able to get a free wave here off of the team. Eerie doing a lot of damage now. Is just complimenting you. Hold on, man.
That Lost Chapter is doing it. He's got Lost Chapter and he's got 2 stacks on that seal already. He says, hey, look at me. Look at my ring. Come on.
I can only kiss your football ring so often before you just impress me over and over again.
Right? Oh my
Good
goodness.
poke from Eerie, able to hold and stabilize the wave now. I think V1's going to lose yet another wave. They're going to force out 3 people to push down to the bottom on the side of KSU just to deal with the Seraphine.
Yeah, and there were 3 people up topside on that Grubs pit. So, as a response to River Falls taking the first Drake, KSU got that those 3 Void Grubs, which is going to have them being able to push turrets a little bit better. But having your support on the opposite side of the map as your ADC, ADC is definitely going to be paying for it. But she does have level. Kaisa does have the ultimate available. Eerie 2 levels up on Wadsworth. Well, Wadsworth actually just hits level 6. It gets his ultimate up to level 2 because Karma's ultimate is just an empower ability. So her Q, typically just a little missile that goes out, and you empower that Q with your ultimate, and then it shoots out and it does a little bit of extra damage. It also leaves a little slow field that explodes a second time. The W, that root, just lasts, I believe it lasts a little bit longer, but it definitely gives Karma some health in exchange for, the amount of rooting that she does. So it helps Karma stay alive a little bit longer, and her E is another availability for sustainability.
Yeah, this character provides a lot of sustain, a lot of self-healing, and that's why the kit is so useful in the top lane. That's why you see Karma top sometimes. And that's why I think it's very, very strong in this game, especially up against somebody like Winter on the Senna. Because this is definitely somebody who knows how to play Senna. As we just saw their rank, they understand that they need to stay at a distance. And I think Karma, relying on heals from that poke damage from the enemy team is not going, or rather, sorry, self-heals is not going to be enough. You also have to provide all of those shields for your bottom laner as well in order to keep them alive. And I think that's why the Karma was a great pick here.
I think this lane, just the 2 of these together, having Seraphine from Eerie and the Karma from Wadsworth, I think they're going to be complementing each other really well. And especially providing support for Peach. This is going to be really powerful for both of them. Ult comes out from Senna on bot side, keeping Orianna alive a little bit longer against that Irelia ult. It's just what they need to get out of there. And Peach was there, able to back up, and KSU's Wukong was just hiding in the bush, waiting for his moment. I don't think that ultimate from Wukong has been expended yet, so he's trying to wait. He's trying to buff right here. Peach, but none the wiser. Peach is on top of her jungle camps.
That's still a win for River Falls regardless. You exhausted the shockwave from the Orianna, the flash from the Orianna, even when Phase Rush was enabled. So that's a mental boom right there, knowing that you can't get away even though you picked the rune specifically to get away. All in trade for Arrow Hunter's ultimate, which is already almost half off cooldown.
I also would like to, while we're up here, compliment Elezria because he's... Oh my gosh, wait, this might actually be huge for Elezria as Eon's stuck under turret with no minions, takes 2 turret shots. Yeah, has a lot of shield ability and ability to kind of run away. Elezria expending the ultimate, trying to, keep out M-Bessa from his lane. But that was just incredibly well played. Just complimenting, again, what was I originally going to say? He learned his lesson. He got caught out really early against this M-Bessa and says, you know what, I just got to, stay back, take my minions as I can. He's keeping really on top of his minions versus this 103 versus 94. They're both going to be recalling here. Both have teleport active, so they're going to be moving again. And actually, it looks like Elezria is going to, be a little wise up and take this, crash this next wave, hopefully, and then push that in a little bit and try to get first item here as M-Bessa's coming back with Eclipse. So whereas M-Bessa has shown a lot more prowess in these fisticuff fights here, Elezria has calmly responded with not playing too aggressive, not being too far cut out as River Falls typically likes to be, and we're going to try and get a fight here.
Look at this vision game from both teams clearing out the wars. Before I can even talk about it, the charm lands onto J-Specs. The Orianna is now dead in the grave. Make that 2. Carol Baskin more like putting him in the basket as KSU is sent right back down to the gold Tennessee, the Golden State, where the dead champions belong. And second Drake will be picked up. You think you can lay a finger on my Drake? You ain't going to take my Drake anytime soon. That's what River Falls is saying right now. Well done. Good team play. And meanwhile, in the top lane, you were just complimenting him about this, playing his own game. Elezria, understanding that, okay, now I have Ravenous, now I have a little bit more sustain, I can just play the calm game. I can just kind of sit and relax, hold M-Bessa, and maintain the 4v4 that my team has been thriving on this entire game.
Don't take my Drake and tell me it's raining. So, if you're a River Falls fan, you are clapping with probably both your hands and your feet like a little child on your couch right now. You are loving what we're seeing from this River Falls team, playing so well as a team and together with having Peach roam as she is, and we might see something on bot.
I was about to say, watch Killer Instinct. Killer Instinct comes through from the V1. The Senna ultimate is there as well, but Peach is on the backline trying to cover this Wukong, doing up so much damage, but then the double Wukong ultimate is in trade. Flash forward as the second proc of the Wukong ult lands on Mr. Wadsworth. He's the first casualty in this fight. Graves is now rooted up. Can Peach make it out? Winter flashes forward and uses that even.
Oh my god, Peach should have died!
Lands on to the Senna. Are you kidding me right now? River Falls wins that play?
I can't believe what I'm seeing right now. We have got one pumped up head coach right now from our league team.
That was unbelievable. I cannot believe my eyes right there. The flash forward double proc of the Wukong
Eerie,
ultimate. I thought that they were just dead and in the grave. Eerie, maybe looking for a 1v2 right now. He should have had vision, knowing that the middle brush has an enemy in it. Winter could be moving forward, canceling that channeling. No, he's actually just going to go back to base. V1 now in a terrible spot with this wave. Eerie can just bully this poor Kaisa into the dirt.
That ultimate, that encore is available if he wants to really show V1 a lesson here for staying in his lane.
I still can't believe they lived after that Wukong.
I don't get it.
They were
what happened?
The flash forward from Winter, I was like, okay, there goes the roof. There goes the E. Small little sidestep from the graves, fires a whole friggin' bowling ball in his head and a tower shot. I cannot believe it.
And now
happened.
he's up on top. This is exactly what we want to see from how aggressively we've seen Peach play. And she's really feasting with this game.
Yeah, and as I was talking
oh
about...
my gosh,
wow.
what is J-Spec's doing here? It's going to get stunned up by Arrow Hunter and just dove on Wadsworth, also making sure that they are not going anywhere.
The root comes down from Wadsworth, and that's a dead Orianna. 2 and 4. Take your Roa and shove it up your wonderful pumpkin, because it is Jack-o'-lantern season. Regardless, get back to base. We have a Bork on our Irelia.
I see those teeth there, Ariana. Come on. Smile big for the camera.
Oh my gosh.
Gracious.
I cannot believe that River Falls is just winning every single side of the map possible. Even when they have a weak side on top, I feel like Alesria is still winning lane despite being down a kill. I cannot believe what is happening right now.
Perfect top lane from Alesria right now. This is exactly what you want to see.
Just gauging how strong they are up against their opponent, understanding
waiting
the
for
first
the
death was just a
in.
simple mistake, not letting it get ahead of them. And just as I'm saying that, the public execution lands on Arrow Hunter. Eons prepares his morgue and his life and his coffin and his memorial.
Peach, what are you doing proxying this wave? The disrespect on this Mbessa. They are ready to stop this Mbessa in their tracks.
Eons needs to prepare his will right now.
What is that?
The River Falls team is on the way. The Sentinel is not going to be enough. Eon flashes over the wall, but the Graves dashes right afterwards. Double shotgun blast goes into the entire enemy team, and Alesria gets a revenge kill onto the Mbessa.
And that is top T1, I believe, from River Falls, and Graves and Wadsworth are trying to walk up on this Orianna. Did you not learn your lesson, old man? We're coming in for round 2, because you are so far pushed up on our T1 on mid lane.
Oh my gosh, Peach maybe biting off a little bit more than she can chew. The shockwave does land onto Peach, and now it's going to be a double Wukong ult that brings Grave down to about 1 HP. J-Specs flashing forward, trying to get something done, but it's not going to be enough. The charm goes on to the Senna. Winter is done. The Wukong is done. I don't care. You can't touch my tigers. You can't touch my monkeys. You can't touch my hooded women. I don't care. You're all getting sent back to the base as River Falls clean sweeps the entirety of the enemy team without losing one single member.
I mean, when Peach was in this river right here, this little ward, where that, like exactly where that ward is in that river bush, like one sliver of health. The Orianna ball comes through, and it like barely like blows on Peach, and just like, oh, okay, it must have been the win. I'm going back in.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it tickled the devil's driveway there for a little bit, but instead she still got out. I cannot believe that. Unbelievable. Now look at Arrow Hunter just playing with so much ego, dancing around the blue buff of the Wukong.
Why not? Why shouldn't I? Why shouldn't I? I mean, I want to talk about this bot lane again. We got to give some huge props to Eerie and Mr. Wadsworth here, really finding their groove, and I think we finally found something that works for them. Eerie definitely coming from the more enchanter and support role from last season, showing his prowess with the Seraphine. He loves these enchanting characters, and the fact that they can so easily be rotated, especially in Seraphine's case, to an ADC, he's in his element, and he is feasting right now. Alesria going to get jumped on by Mbessa here as Eons is sick of this shit happening on their lane. But Alesria is just, you know what, I've seen this before. We've been doing this all game. I got my Profane Hydra. I got my Driller. I got movement speed up the wazoo. I'm getting out of here. Don't care what your dashes do. Don't care what your shield does. I'm just shifting myself out of harm's way.
Look at the vision game from River Falls. Look at all of these
We
red
love this.
wards.
We
There's
have
one
2 big
below the
wards.
scoreboard right now. There's one in the red buff. There was one in this small banana bush behind red buff that spawns up when they actually, I guess that's not an ocean salt bush, but still, regardless, look how many little red wards and counter wards there are.
Oh my god, Alezria with the flash away from that ultimate from Mbessa. Still unfortunately gets shut down, but the absolute movement that was shot down from Eons, and Arrow Hunter is cleaning up. This Orianna is on a different lane. Doesn't matter. You're still going back to the fountain.
Yeah, the double stun that's going to land on Eons and J-Specs, but instead J-Specs is going to be the one that takes his own life from Eons. Eons walking back. What are you doing? You cannot box this Irelia as is. Arrow Hunter actually, just as I was saying, they brought down to 1 health on the top side, but meanwhile, into the bottom side, there's going to be a huge scuffle that happens at the exact same time that the tower goes down. Wukong and Kaisar are sent all the way back. Eon does pick up a solo in the top lane, but it's just going to be a complimentary prize. The entirety of River Falls is pushing down into the bottom lane. They may be shaping up for a tier 2.
Peach is 1-0-10 right now. Eerie.
Oh my god!
That ultimate
What is
from
happening?
Eerie saved Peach's life right there and allowed them to turn that fight. Not only turn that fight, pocket, what was that, 2 or 3 kills, and Peach goes back to the fountain on her own volition by pressing the B button on her keyboard rather than waiting in grayscale, watching as the rest of the team just unfolds in a fight in front of her.
This is absolutely absurd. I will take this small bit of downtime that River Falls is granting us peasants to apologize for shouting so loud. I just realized that might have blown out some eardrums, but good God, I am excited to see this team bounce back. Oh my God, are they playing like the most cohesive unit? I love that this iteration of this team can make things work exactly how we expected them to. If this is how the rest of the games are going to be played, we might as well just shut off the stream now because they are going to be stomps.
We might be setting up for Otacon here as River Falls is on Drake point, but there is no Drake going to be spawning for at least like a minute and a half, I believe. The next objective, I believe, since there's nothing available but this Otacon, is going to be this Otacon. KSU is going to be trying to look for some turrets as they still haven't taken a T1 from River Falls yet, whereas River Falls has taken not only T1 on every single lane, but also T2 on top side. KSU is really just trying to pick up some momentum wherever they can find it and really move themselves forward, and Eon's doing just that, trying to get this top turret, but these minions are here, and having Eon here on top side, and I'd like to point out that little item that she's got. I don't know exactly what that's called, but that is an anti-shield item. Ooh. So if they hit somebody that's got a shield, that's going to absolutely shred the shield. But
Objective bounty was claimed to the top side, but meanwhile, J-Specs is going to get caught into the bottom side of the jungle. Those are not your Krugs anymore. Look at the vision that River Falls has. They have one in their tri-bush. They have one in the enemy tri-bush. They have one in the Drake pit. They have one on the Otacon. The ocean bush in front of the Drake pit was cleared out and then immediately pushed in by River Falls. They have just so much vision around this area of the map, the bottom side of the river. Tier 2 may fall onto the top side, but instead they're just going to send Riven up there. Alezria playing the team game. Blastcone is going to save the Wukong forward now, but the remaining 4 players of River Falls are just going to be setting up for this Otacon. They got that pick. Orion is still down for 14 seconds. That is not a shockwave. That is a huge bit of crowd control and damage that is out of your disposal. And River Falls may just take this right away.
Yeah, we usually say the complete opposite thing for River Falls every single week that we're here is we're not seeing a lot of vision from River Falls. We're not seeing, where the enemy teams are, and we don't have a lot of map control. This team and this game specifically is a huge turning point. And River Falls evolves throughout the season usually. We're just a little bit of a late bloomer this year, but this game has just really been a culmination of so many things that River Falls has been struggling with throughout the last few weeks. And flipping on its head, you see and say we've learned so much from these previous games. We've been labbing out, we've been playing as a team more, and we're ready to show up and throw down.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself. And look at this. They're realizing that the vision game is too strong. They're like, what the? How many red wards do they have? They already took Otacon. Why do they need all these wards?
They're going to roam. KSU's going to be roaming through this bot side and discovering pink wards and green wards throughout the. They're not even done yet. They missed 2 wards on their way to where they are right now.
Yeah, River Falls could definitely read this like a book as long as they're paying attention to the map. There is one in that mid bush that they just failed to clear out. Sitting in banana bush, but Winter is still sticking out. I don't know what they're waiting for because River Falls is just going to be pushing up to the mid lane.
Peach already completely cleared her blue side jungle. Arrow Hunter, honestly, a perfect prime suspect because, I mean, for Arrow Hunter...
needs to be careful, though. That ward is there.
Arrow Hunter's so strong, has insane defense. Take it away.
This is going to just be a 5v5. Graves is going to kill the tree, and the first kill goes from Winter. Winter sent back. Now it's going to be the Wukong and Eons to follow up, and it's just going to be a huge massacre. J-Specs, in the blink of an eye, is the last one standing before he can even realize what is going on. He is suffering from the shell shock of losing every single member of KSU. Lesbria taking out V1. Oh my gosh, the kill feed can't even keep up on the top side of the titles. This is going to be a winning play for River Falls, as the Drake will be cemented and Ocean Soul will be there.
The second that Drake spawned, it was on top of by River Falls, granting them an extra Ocean Drake and extra sustainability is just what we needed for River Falls, especially from our fighters, as we're seeing them somehow not die. Granted, we do have 2 supports with insane amounts of healing and shielding, but there have been so many moments where River Falls has been within an inch of their life and still survived somehow, and these Ocean Drakes are going to just be another little tool in their pocket, and KSU's going to still beat a side of a brick building with a little sloppy noodle.
One of those little like rubber mallets, they test your reflexes. Yeah. You couldn't have said it better. You actually called this in the draft, is that River Falls has so many of these bruiser characters, and just as I'm saying that, 2 of the bruiser characters now are picking on the poor Ambessa. Eon's forced to flash out over towards his team, but instead the Kaisai is going to get stunned
this
up
man is unstoppable.
from his Seraphine plays. V1 brought down to about a 3rd HP. This
He's
level 12.
6-0-8.
I know.
He can't be touched.
I was just about to say, level 12 to level 15, Eerie is just snowballing against this guy.
The Encore is available yet again. Such a huge utility for them during that fight, especially, I mean, if I'm Eerie and I'm looking at, more than 2 people.
We just got redemption on
Karma. Great. On top of the Moonshine Renewer giving Karma just an extra amount of shielding. But if I'm Eerie and I see definitely more than 2 people just in the same spot, I'm hitting R. Easiest R of my life. And
Absolutely.
that Encore is going to increase its distance the more people it hits. So if they're staggered, if they have a little bit of range between them, that thing is going to continue to expand and continue to move.
Yeah, I couldn't said it better. Again, I just keep agreeing with you. It's just we just keep seeing perfection from River Falls. They have been playing so well this game. It is honestly a breath of fresh air that we are seeing from this team. KSU looking lost. They got their, what do they call it? What is it? In the good old jolly old England, the Gurks for Garters or whatever. I can't believe that Arrow Hunter was just able to walk up into that mid brush and ultimate all 4 members that were sitting into that brush. They had full vision. They knew completely where all the members of River Falls were, but River Falls knew where all of the KSU units were. So Arrow Hunter just decided to ult every single one of them, and it didn't really matter the remaining parts of the fight because everybody was slowed, everybody was damaged, and everybody was going to get stunned up from Arrow Hunter.
We've got a huge play here possibly from on mid lane here as we currently have 3v3s, and Graves and Eon are fighting here in this Drake pit, and Eon is losing this battle, especially with Arrow Hunter coming in close by. The rest of the team is trying to respond for KSU, and the stun comes out from Arrow Hunter trying to catch somebody, and the public execution comes out right on Mr. Wadsworth as the healer falls, question mark? Barely. The redemption does come out as a little bit of a martyr wish. Eerie is just keeping the rest of his team alive.
Did you see Lesria during that fight? The redemption healed him. The shields from the Karma right before the death. The amount of healing that he got from Sundering Sky and Ravenous Hydra, that was unbelievable. V1 went in with a killer instinct, but it was too little, too late in the game to make a play like that. I could not believe that he just jumped into the Drake pit under 3 members of River Falls and yet still lived. He's the only surviving member on the side of KSU, and he was the first one in the fight.
Peach has 20 of these 25 takedowns. Eerie has 18 out of these 25 takedowns, being the ADC. And Mr. Wadsworth is followed close by as well with 19.
They are setting up for, it looks like they're actually going to be prepping very early, 2 minutes and 40 seconds on Elder Dragon. But instead, they're just going to be shaping up for Baron in order to prepare for Elder Dragon, I bet. I think they're going to push in all the lanes, force KSU out of their little turtle huts in order to deal with all of these minions, and then they're going to start rotating into Elder Dragon for a game-winning play.
It's just an objective drought for KSU as River Falls is literally soaking up everything.
Hey, we're
the big, yeah, right. Those are the 3 little droplets of water that they get with that, as River Falls is the CEO.
Big fat guy meme with like the little guy in the pipe.
Just guzzling all of those objectives going right down into River Falls' gullet.
I could gluttonous would be the word I would describe River Falls
Gluttony,
with. 48k gold to a 58k gold lead. A fantastic stomp, and look at this. They're just playing with ego, just stopping a Wukong back. He's level 13, man. Leave him alone. The support is the same level as the jungler. We can relax a little bit here,
That
boys.
is just insane. Graves is looking so strong here. Yeah, Peach has got to feel really good about this game.
Yeah, I could not believe how the way this game turned out. However, I am pleasantly surprised. I assumed that KSU was going to swing out into the early game, especially with all of these ranged characters. And the Mbessa on top of it, and then River Falls is going to have some sort of makeup play around these objectives in that mid to late game, maybe around third Drake, right? But instead, it was just a snowball after snowball after that play into the bottom side. Just the team play from Eerie, Wadsworth, and Graves, Peach rather, putting in work, putting in all that legwork, and accelerating the lane that really needed to be carried.
Yeah, I always seem to forget. Every single week, we've been casting League for River Falls for years now, and I seem to always forget just how aggressive they are, because I see a Wukong, and I see, oh, he's going to be in lane. He's going to be ganking. He's going to be trying to shut down some lanes and push back River Falls. The exact opposite has happened. We have not seen a lot of Wukong, and every time that Wukong could be around, Peach was there already, and just kind of, if Wukong would have gone into that fight, he would have fed.
Yeah, this is going to be a very interesting final fight. Now, River Falls actually does have to be careful because now some of the KSU units are going to be doing a little bit of damage. Arrow Hunter now frontlining. The root is going to land for Eerie. And does this feel like a feast or famine team that you said? Because I think it's not Halloween. It's starting to smell like a Thanksgiving dinner as we start up for the biggest feast of all, the feast and the taste of victory. River Falls marching towards the enemy nexus, trapping up 2 members into the Irelia ult. A lot of shields are being popped now. The dash forward with the E of the Wukong is going to ult up 4 members of River Falls, but it does not matter with the redemption healing up every single member. River Falls takes the stake to the heart on this undead team of KSU, walking around like a bunch of zombies. Get on out of here. 1-0 for River Falls.
There's a River Falls sized lump in the back of my throat that is overwhelmed with joy right now. We have 2 members on our team with 0 deaths after an incredibly well fought, I don't even know, like 28-minute game.
Eerie should have been the focus of their entire team. No matter what, like that's obviously the target priority. 0 deaths. 7-0 and 15.
Nothing happening.
Unbelievable.
I mean, there was one public execution that just went straight through the front line. It hit Mr. Wadsworth. Mr. Wadsworth almost fell, but not before he was able to ult, get an empowered shield on his team. As he died, redemption pops. The entire team just gets healed tenfold. And right during that end fight, too, River Falls was looking maybe a little bit worse for wear, getting their health bars down, maybe like half health. Redemption pops. Everything goes back up. Everything.
Redemption is a strong item, and in the hands of a player like Mr. Wadsworth, you can assure that it's going to be used appropriately. Well done to River Falls, but the series is not over yet. It is going to be a best of 3. We either have 1 more left to go or 0 because they're just going to forfeit.
Yeah, we're ready to see. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Game 2 of KSU versus River Falls. everybody. Hello. Welcome back to League of Legends. James, I love League. I love League.
Yeah, but I would really not be shouting that at the top of your lungs.
All right, well, we're back. KSU versus River Falls. River Falls opted, or well, actually KSU rather, opting for red side here, trying to get a little bit of the top side perspective advantage. What River Falls drafting some comfort picks, definitely, from what I hear. We've got a huge comfort pick coming out from Alesria on this Aatrox, and a huge comfort pick also from Erie on this Ashe. And then I hear, through the grapevine, Wadsworth has also been on this Melio, kind of kicking some soccer balls around.
Should we start from the top row?
Absolutely, my pleasure.
Oh, yes! Yes!
You can't see, but we're pointing at the set.
So the set pick is very special, near and dear to my heart. This is something I've been asking for since the very first iteration of the League of Legends varsity team.
I don't care what team it's on. I just want to see the big guy.
I just want to see set. Unfortunately, I have to be rooting against it this game. I am a biased Judge Sumi. I'm wearing a River Falls jersey. It's got a little Falcon logo on it. Yes, I cannot allow this set to win because of the team I am representing. However, I am excited to see it in the game nonetheless. Set versus Aatrox. This is going to be a very interesting matchup, Gavin, because Set is a hyper lane bully. We talked about lane bullies last time, like Riven and Mbessa. However, Set is built to be a lane bully. That is his entire job. The most that he can do in a late game is maybe suplex somebody into the enemy team, do a bunch of splash damage, and then hit some stuns. Haymaker does a lot of damage, and it can do a lot of true damage and shield. However, it can be relatively easy to dodge and especially flashed out of. So I think it's just going to be up to the Set to cover this Aatrox, who can also be an early game bully, and ensure that Alesria does not get far ahead, because I think in the later stages of the game, the Aatrox can run away with it.
You know, I've heard Alesria is really confident on this Aatrox. We have only seen them play, I think, once or twice this season, so this is still a relatively new pick from the caster's perspective. So we're
saw him practice with it earlier.
Right, yeah. That's true, yeah. They
killed
were
Zoe in our 2v1.
So, I mean, I'm ready to see Aatrox make some big moves here, and definitely we'll be seeing a lot more tussling and then a lot more confident response from Alesria, hopefully, on this Aatrox versus that last matchup. And yeah, let's move straight down to the jungle as well. We got Kha'Zix. I love the Kha'Zix pick. I think this suits Peach very well for these assassinations, and I think whoever we're going to be seeing in jungle, I believe that's a Xin Zhao, also a really strong meta jungler right now as a response from that Wukong. But I think Peach on this Kha'Zix is going to be really strong, especially catching out mid lane, especially catching out top, and then if they happen to walk up on this Xin Zhao just completely out of the blue in the jungle. Kha'Zix does extra damage on a focused target if there's no allies around. So, you know, we'll hopefully see a couple of catches out here by Peach.
That's the most interesting part is Kha'Zix thrives in isolation. However, Xin Zhao, like you said, a hyper meta champion, very, very strong right now, and also very good in team plays instead of being on their own. So it's going to be very interesting to see this dichotomy. It's almost this juxtaposition of the Kha'Zix wants to play around the team in order to accelerate all the lanes, but also wants to play by themselves. It's this weird two-faced, almost like Jekyll Hyde.
Peach is too.
Exactly.
Peach plays so similar to that style.
I think taking off nameplates and just looking at these comps, it's even more interesting considering how these late game team fights are going to play out with a Kha'Zix versus a Lee Sin. Lee Sin, in order to play against them, and especially a lot of the other people, as we're going to get to in this draft, you have to kite them out. It's all about poking, kiting away, drawing out ultimates, drawing out as much utility as you can from the enemy team. Nami, Tidal Wave, things like that. But especially the Crescent Guard from the Xin Zhao. Xin Zhao is invulnerable within that, or anything on the exterior of that Crescent Guard is what I'm trying to say. Anything on the interior can't damage him. However, he does take mitigation, except from the one that he challenged with the ultimate. So that's why I think the kiting is going to be important. However, Kha'Zix is not about kiting. It's all about jumping in and bursting. So I don't know if it's necessarily a counter pick. However, I think it's more of a pick that is going to be used to take out the side laners, such as the Set, the Sivir, and potentially even the LeBlanc that will want to side lane later into the game.
And I think the Xin Zhao would have been an absolutely great response to River Falls' last team comp, because that ultimate coming out from Xin Zhao not only focuses one target, blasts everybody else around that target away. So I don't think we're going to be seeing River Falls play super grouped up like they did last game, because they have a lot of range in this composition, just like last game. But Kha'Zix being more of an assassin, Aatrox is going to be trying to do as much frontline as possible, and then Arrow Hunter with throwing out a Tibbers of his own is going to have that frontline option. But Arrow Hunter, Erie, and Wadsworth are all going to be trying to be on the backline, sustaining and kiting this KSU team.
Now, I don't know exactly what ability it is, but Winter started the heal first rather than the bubble.
Oh, that's
so
the
I think,
W. No, that's an okay.
I think, well, with the
It's
Sivir,
okay.
where it's not super strong early game, especially into a Milio Ash, I think that what they're just going to be focusing on right now into this bottom side is scaling, not a lot of these scuffles. I could be wrong. Both of these teams are very aggressive, especially with two of these, enchanters on the side.
Yeah.
Both of them running Summon Eerie. So I think that I could be eating my words here pretty soon. However,
Oh my God.
something that I wanted to talk about is the mid lane, and we just saw it, is the matchup between LeBlanc and Arrow Hunter on this Annie. Annie is not somebody that we're used to Arrow Hunter playing.
Right.
However, I think it's very good into LeBlanc. That point-and-click CC with the stun, the passive of the Annie, can really meddle with the plans of this LeBlanc who wants to blink around everywhere. And I think that's really well done from River Falls prep, because LeBlanc has slaughtered them in previous games that we've seen. I think
This
that
is a
this
really
Annie
good
is going to
answer.
be, I think it's going to make the difference.
Not only the Annie, but the Kha'Zix is just going to be a really good stop to this LeBlanc.
I don't know where Eons is going. I thought he was going to go into the tower there for a second.
Yeah. So I think we see Arrow Hunter very confidently picking these champions who are easy to learn, hard to master. And I think he's really incredibly close to that line of mastering these characters. We're going to see both laners chunked on the mid lane here. Arrow Hunter has the electrocute. Same with J-Specs here. They're both going to be playing ranged matchups, feeding for that burst damage. And I think Arrow Hunter is going to be able to respond to whatever this LeBlanc throws out with a stun. He's going to always have that in his back pocket. If he sees that LeBlanc do something he doesn't like, boom, stopped.
I think that we're just going to see a split scuttle from the jungle side, as both of them opted to start on opposite sides of the map. Both of them started on the blue side. So I think it's going to be a scuttle trade. However, in the mid lane, J-Spec's taking a lot of damage from that electrocution. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Eons is just bullying Alezria. Alezria now bringing him back, pops into the Haymaker, flashes forward to try and get a solo kill, but Alezria just knocks him up with the Q1. And that is going to be a flash offline for the set, but a flash online for Alezria. After this scuttle, and maybe potentially a back, I think Peach can be looking for this.
Definitely. Set definitely more of a... Oh my gosh, the flash forward. That electrocute. Arrow Hunter knows exactly what he's doing. That cannon. Can we get a +1 for that cannon, Alezria? Throwing out the W that's on like a 16-second cooldown at level 3.
Oh, speaking of ganking, Kha'Zix jumping into the bottom side. Peach wants blood quick, taking a tower shot, taking 2 tower shots. I don't know if this was going to be the way to go. V1 brought down to about a 3rd HP, but there's going to be no kills yet onto this bottom side. But talk about that top lane. The flash is gone for set. And meanwhile, Alezria is just putting in work to maintain all of his CS. I can't believe he's ahead in CS right now.
Yeah.
And with Doran's shield, he can actually stay in the lane and hold the wave right here. This is great wave state. As long as Alezria doesn't die right now or burst his own flash, the Haymaker is going to go through, but he did have to flash away.
Didn't want to see it.
Unfortunate. Anyway, I'm done about that. Now let's talk about the meat and potatoes, that mid play. I did not think the electrocute was going to proc. I was not paying attention at all.
It was just that last little itty-bitty auto attack.
Was it flash W Q auto attack? That was absurd from Arrow. Predicting the damage like that?
Yeah.
Oh my god. This is why he's in varsity. This is why he's in varsity. This is why
we're on the caster's bench, James.
Yeah, exactly. This is why, I'm the pool boy, or the water boy. I splash water in their faces.
I look at everything and say, yeah, you should probably have done that better, but I can't.
We're the backseat gamers that don't know what we're doing.
There's
but
a
we pretend
stun.
we do.
You can't get up on. You can't jump this.
Yeah,
this
the
guy.
electrocute is going to proc for both of them. Unfortunately, Arrow Hunter is going to take the weaker side of that trade. However,
He got the Q off at the last second,
at
the outside cusp.
I think that he's just getting into the head of J-Specs. That's what I'm saying. Like he's losing the trade, but he's still playing with so much confidence that the LeBlanc is just like, okay, man, it's your wave. I'm backing off. This is all you, bro.
J-Specs can get in and get the first tap, but Arrow Hunter responding with an immediate stun means he gets the electrocute out first.
He does have a Sapphire Crystal ahead of him, too. So it's like, that kill is already paying dividends.
Extra mana and a control ward. We got some extra vision, which I heard, don't tell anybody we said this to you, but we want a lot of more vision control, just like we saw last game from this team. Coach Gentlecore is behind the drafts bench saying, we need to keep that up. Whatever we did to keep that vision up, we need to keep doing that. And so hopefully we'll be seeing a lot more of that from River Falls. I want to just keep talking about this top lane matchup. I love it. I love it so much. I don't get to see a lot of top lane matches like this, and I know you're absolutely ecstatic.
I know. I'm telling you, Eons should be beating Alezria, and I guess by technicality he is with this current lane state. However, Alezria on this Aatrox just, I guess, knows the matchup, knows that he's going to lose. However, there's going to be no ward in this Pixel Bush. Is the Xin Zhao going to go for Alezria? Playing very safe. Well done. The situational awareness from this team that came out in just the past week.
Yeah.
I cannot believe that. Oh, the ultimate is going to come through from Arrow Hunter. The stun is going to land on the forehead of J-Specs. Level 6 is going to be available for the LeBlanc, but instead just going to pop back. Mountain Drake is going to go into the way of River Falls because of the scuffle on mid lane. Xin Zhao is none the wiser in top river.
He's going to still stay there, maybe hover mid lane, maybe try to hover top lane, but definitely try to take some
still
buffs. Yeah, right. And I think one of the reasons Alezria is really controlling this lane is because once Set really commits to a fight, he's stuck there, whereas Alezria has the CC ability, especially with that W, that cage that keeps him in there, and then not only the Q1, but the Q2, but the Q3, all knocking up this Set. It's really going to put him right there, force him to try and use that that haymaker really quick to try and get that engage off.
Gosh.
But it's just Alezria's got an answer for everything that he does. And Arrow Hunter, unfortunately, doesn't have a stun here available and going to get electrocuted with no payback there on J-Specs. J-Specs really just kind of doing his best to get a glob of spit to spit out at Arrow Hunter here. But you know, we're still looking.
A lot of burst damage from the LeBlanc. We got to be careful about this, and River Falls knows it. Alezria, meanwhile, in the top lane, brilliantly played. I was just about to say, Alezria, after the W is down, that haymaker is down, there is no ability for Set to continue the sustain except for the passive, but I think you're going to be able to outdamage that. So he could have all-inned and potentially killed Eons. But again, he's just smarter than me. He had the situational awareness that Xin Zhao was probably rotating up, stepped back from the wave, saw Xin Zhao on the bottom side of the river, and instead it decided to just E away.
Yeah.
And he lived, and like didn't take any damage, forced Set to pop the back, caught the wave, backed himself, got a tunneler, shoes, and ruby crystal.
And not opting to use this teleport. We're just going to meet these minions on the mid wave. Both members are going to lose this. I believe that's Alezria pinging that Set is missing, and there are 3 people on these Void Grubs. KSU has learned their lesson from the little droplets that they've gotten, but this is exactly what we saw from them last game.
Exactly.
River Falls takes first strike. KSU responds by taking grubs, so we'll see if they are a little bit ahead of their game here as well, and are going to be trying to look for and trying to set up for even more objectives.
I was just about to say, this mirrors last game entirely. They rotate the support up and the bottom lane down in order to support the grubs, and they do claim all 3 of the grubs, but meanwhile the bot laner suffers. Look at the kiting from Eerie right there. Rewind the footage if you haven't seen that. They take a plate, but look at where V1 was sitting. To pop the spell shield, trying to get some damage on Eerie. Eerie hovering around the perfect outside of the turret range and just kited him perfectly, brought him down to about a half HP, and the Sivir was forced to back. He does get a BF sword and some of those little blades as a meantime, but I think it's just going to be It's got all of those purchases.
Erie's going to be
all that gold rain may fall on deaf ears. As I was just complimenting River Falls, they may be caught right now. Wadsworth flashes forward, but V1 flashes in return. Sending a lot of auto attacks
Mr. Wadsworth
the pile,
lives!
but instead Wadsworth pops the heal on himself and gets away with the movement speed of Emilio. Are you kidding me right now?
A flash expended from V1 on the ADC. Ultimate expended from both Sivir and the Zins out there for that engage on Wadsworth, but he's going to messy his way out there. He's going to kick that football out. It's going to stun somebody, the closest enemy. And the flash forward's going to do nothing because he's got speed on his side with that campfire from that W. Not only giving him extra movement speed, but also giving him extra HP to stay alive and get out of that fight.
Sivir using the ultimate to get that movement speed, but instead getting the movement speed from the heal in return is Wadsworth just counters out V1. Then the Crescent Guard, I don't know what the KSU jungler was doing
so
there.
Close. The W just missed, too.
I still have no idea if he thinks that it would just push him further away. It doesn't really matter, I guess. But Wadsworth still has ultimate. And that's what I was just about to say. The ultimate is still available, so if they wanted to box further on into the bottom lane, they could be going for a kill right now. V1 takes out from the burn, and that is a guaranteed solo kill almost. So the Emilio did get a little bit of the support from the little bit of the bocce ball that goes forward onto Eerie, giving him some movement speed to secure that kill. Meanwhile, Eerie now onto the back foot as another gank comes in. Winter is up. But it's not going to be enough. Kha'Zix is there for the support. The KSU jungler is level 7, but Kha'Zix is level 8. Going to go for a 1v2 right now. The passive for
Wadsworth is still
will
here.
Not proc, but both members of the bottom lane are there to back up their girl.
I wanted to point out, as Winter and as KSU's Xin Zhao was pushing in on Eerie here, they could have caught him out if the Nami had that ultimate available. Nami's still level 5 during this exchange because they rotated up for those grubs. So they weren't able to catch Eerie out and punish him for doing what he did to not only their turret, not only their laners, but just this game in general.
That's what I was just saying. Wadsworth didn't use the ultimate when he could have after he was getting ganked and almost died, had to use the flash right there and the heal, but instead used it after Eerie was calling to push up further into the bottom lane, and it ended up getting, again, essentially a solo kill onto V1. As long as the Sivir doesn't get accelerated, you might as well just throw the game at that point for KSU. That's a huge hyper carry that's going to be not in circulation for the remainder of this game. J-Specs now taking a bunch of damage, brought down to about half HP. Arrow Hunter, instead of going further up, Wadsworth.
Oh, you can't be doing that. J-Specs trying to get a little bit of a snack, a little bit of money in his pocket, maybe trying to assassinate this Milio. The second that they go in, Wadsworth just kicks out that football.
A little dodgeball, yeah.
Oh my goodness, just perfect plays here from River Falls, and Alesria showing. Alesria knows how to press those buttons.
This is what I was saying, too, about Arrow Hunter is he's down in CS. He doesn't have the Hextech gun that LeBlanc does, but he's still playing with so much confidence, and he's playing with intelligence. Instead of moving forward onto the half-hit LeBlanc with cooldowns coming off for himself, instead of using that Tibbers to secure a kill, he just catches the wave. He just wants to catch up in gold, and he wants to go for that first item spike.
Yeah, and right there during that exchange, he was just trying to pull up that passive stun. And for Annie's passive stun to go off, that's what those 4 little icons are right under Arrow Hunter's health bar. Here you see 3 gray and then 1 purple. Purple means that the stun is online. The next ability that he throws out will stun. Doesn't matter what it is, whether it's a Tibbers summon or a shield that's going to hit somebody. Lesria just
doing a lot of damage. And the Haymaker is down, so Eons actually can't heal except from the passive or get a shield. So I don't know why he's pushing up like that into an Aatrox, but whatever.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, into the bottom lane, we may see a 4v4 against this Drake. Riverfall's clearing out that vision wonderfully.
I would like to say, Peach showing really good control, not only for these jungle camps and for these jungle objectives, but not trying to push on anything that they can't take. It's insane to see this 13-minute River Falls game where our jungler has not gotten a takedown at all. This is really good, just really good growth from Peach to be able to see, yeah, no, my team is winning all of their lanes. They don't need my help. Yeah, I could probably catch somebody out or try to, feast or famine somebody here. But instead, I'm going to get, what is that, like almost 50 CS up on the Xin Zhao. They're at 129 versus the Xin Zhao's 87.
I know, it's unbelievable.
And
this
then
Kha'Zix is so strong.
Second Drake was taken there as well.
Eclipse is available for the Kha'Zix, so I think a gank may be coming in soon. Arrow Hunter, the lightning, the electrocute does not proc. However, the flash over misses. The W does not land. The stun from the Tibbers does, though. Crescent Guard trying to do so much damage, and he does. This is going to be a one-for-one trade, securing feats of warfare for River Falls.
Unfortunately, that W for Xin Zhao just didn't connect after they flashed, trying to flash forward under turret and stab out that
failed flash. He went too sideways. He didn't know how to line
You would have had that, too. He got it regardless, but... Ooh.
Nami Tidal Wave is forced to be used as Eerie uses his own ultimate in trade. V1 brought down to about 1 HP. The Sivir trying to run for his life, but instead the barrier is going to be used from Eerie, saving his own life. And it is Halloween season as we shout to the top of the lungs, it's alive! The Frankenstein of Ash rises from the grave yet again. From the defeat, the Phoenix of last week comes into the series today and shows us what a true AD carry can do.
I mean... What more could you want from a bot lane duo like this that's been playing together? They're great friends outside of the Rift as well. They have perfect target prioritization, which is something that River Falls needed from these first few weeks, and they've been increasingly getting better throughout the weeks. And we see this perfectly executed. They don't care about the Nami. The Nami is just doing their own thing. They have half of an item. We don't need to focus on it. She's under-leveled. Let's just beat up this ADC and try to keep them down.
Something I want to point out, too, is just the perseverance and just the patience with these summoner spells. Neither flash was used. Neither flash was used on the enemy team as well, but neither flash was used from Eerie's or Waz, where they just trusted themselves to land these skill shots and trusted his own barrier to save himself as long as his support was there to heal him up the rest of the way. And that was really good trust from both of these teams. J-Specs now trying to go in for Arrow Hunter, but maybe too little too late. The blue team has slain the Rift Herald from the hands of Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix now sitting in the back line, just trying to do some tick damage, jumps on to an enemy member of KSU, and now Eon's ultimates Alesria into the remaining members of River Falls. They are now sitting on the back foot. J-Specs dashing forward, trying to hit that blink. The bubble lands straight onto Mr. Wadsworth. The support is now dead for River Falls. A double kill for the set. Arrow Hunter now claiming one for his own. Winter Falls at the hands of the little baby girl of Annie. It's going to be a 2-for-1 trade with Rift Herald going straight into the pocket of River Falls.
2 for 2, actually. Xin Zhao died really early on in that fight.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
As River Falls was peeling off, Arrow Hunter, I saw it during the middle of that fight. I'm like, I wonder where we're going to see Tibbers. Like, having a couple seconds left on that cooldown. So as Arrow Hunter and as Peach were trying to kite out and escape from that fight, Arrow Hunter just pops Tibbers out over the wall, stuns both of the members left on KSU, and they were able to safely get out and proc out this.
Definitely
this
worth
Herald
River
on mid,
Falls.
take down that first turret.
Something I do want to point out is Alezria was actually pinging the summoner spells of the set. Eons does not have teleport. After that was used, Alezria immediately said, hey guys, I have teleport. I can join the next team fight. We can make this a 5v4. Unfortunately for River Falls, they did lose a few members because it was just in topside, which set is going to be there regardless. However, still a good ping, and it is still on cooldown. Alezria can be anywhere. Again, went back to base, walked all the way back for the past 20 seconds, did not use that teleport. It is still available for the top laner of River Falls.
Oh, Eons doesn't have Haymaker there. Alezria could really lay in some damage with 0 repercussions. We're getting some lane swaps here from the mid lane to the bot lane towards these middle stages, towards the later stages of the laning phase. Mid laners in ADC typically swap. It's a little bit easier for them to get support from their jungler on the mid lane and secure some fights here and get some extra gold from these turret takedowns right into the ADC's pocket. So that's kind of the thought process behind there. So Arrow Hunter trying to farm out as well on bot side as that first turret was taken down. So he's kind of just twiddling his thumbs, waiting for minions to come in and stack up on some CS, trying to get ahead of this LeBlanc, regardless if you just don't look at the KDAs here.
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, this shorter lane swap for River Falls is what's benefiting them right now. And the match, the Annie, Arrow Hunter was actually rotated down to match J-Specs in that bottom lane. And now the Kha'Zix is going to be hovering around Wadsworth and Eerie. And I think that the straight 3v3 between Xin Zhao, Nami, and V1 on the Sivir is going to lose to the Kha'Zix of Peach, Eerie on Ashe, and Wadsworth on Melio, especially with all three of their ultimates being available.
This vision is really strong for River Falls. Going through, they've got 2 sweepers here. We've got a Farsight viewer
How many
from
Blue
Eerie
Wars
as
there
well.
are? What
Yeah, there's one. There's also 2. Oh, Kha'Zix jumping over the field. Unfortunately, there was somebody left on KSU to jump in and protect the Zinzao for a little bit longer. J-Specs trying to get out with his life. The clone, a little bit of a save grace for them.
Ooh.
The set Haymaker just grabs 2.
Yeah, the double Haymaker is going to land on 2 members of River Falls. Arrow Hunter as Wadsworth will be sent back to the base. It's going to make a third as Kha'Zix will die as well in the hands of V1 onto the Sivir. Eerie trying to make some magic happen, but unfortunately it was just really bad for River Falls. They did not understand that the J-Specs could blink forward. Eons now hitting that E and the set Haymaker as a combo. Alezria trying to make something happen right now, but it's not going to be enough. River Falls falls flat onto the back of that exchange, and KSU brought themselves back into this game with a clean sweep.
5 of those kills, or 5 kills now on set. I believe 3 went into his pocket and 2 went into his takedowns pool. Set going to be looking really strong as he's got that. What is that? What does that
Stridebreaker
do?
Stridebreaker,
Exactly.
Tunneler, Pickaxe, and Boots. I couldn't, but this is exactly what I was saying, though, is the only thing you need to worry about the set is the Haymaker at close range and the ultimate don't group up as long as set is sitting on the front line, because he can just jump and use his ultimate to crash into all of you, and that's exactly what happened to River Falls. Unfortunately, just a little too funneled. I think Peach didn't realize that LeBlanc was on the other side into that Gromp pit, so tried to catch the Xin Zhao lacking, and she did, but unfortunately expended the entirety of her team's lives trying to back her up and get her out of there.
It was a really good initial pick. That unfortunately, they just didn't have extended vision towards that blue side jungle, so they didn't know that all of KSU was ready to back up that fight.
And that's a little bit of an overextension that we're talking about River Falls, and this is something that they're hoping to correct, that we've seen them do strides to correct. As the previous game is very obvious that they don't really want to overcommit anymore. They don't want that to be the identity of the team. They want to play with this kind of patience and play around this objective instead of just funneling into one area. Unfortunately, a little bit of a misstep, a little bit more of that muscle memory taking over from the previous matches that we've seen in earlier weeks. However, River Falls still sitting into the driver's seat. The goal differential, don't let it fool you. Eon's now claiming on the bottom side, the top side tier 2 turret. But River Falls is just going to take Otacon
This
instead.
is a good exchange here. River Falls has to be really careful before another team fight starts to take out, and they're just going to completely turn around and grab this. As Zinzao pops the ultimate, the Nami wave comes out really quick. J-Specs picking up a kill on this Kha'Zix. And just walking out. River Falls is still there. The set is behind him. Arrow Hunter is low worse for wear here as the Stridebreaker is going to slow him down. And they're going to catch him out. And it's Eerie and Wadsworth are going to try and get out with their lives. Eerie has the slow power, but the Sivir ult is speeding up everybody on their team. And unfortunately, Wadsworth is also not able to protect. And I was about to say this as they were taking Otacon. River Falls is going to have to be really careful because they do have a lot of tank, they do have a lot of damage, but it's really funneled. Alezria is the one brawler bruiser fighter that they have. As Kha'Zix is more of an assassin build, does have Black Cleaver and Eclipse, is going to grab them a little bit of health and armor, but relatively speaking, this Kha'Zix is going to be primarily for damage. They're not going to use him as a frontline. He's going to be in the frontline range, just doing damage like the 3 other characters on this team.
They kited the Nami wave very, very well, but unfortunately Alezria backed instead of zoning. He was sitting in that tri-bush. I thought that he was just going to stop the back and zone the remaining members of KSU so that his team can gather up the rest of the Otacon. However, he instead full backed, went up to cover the top lane tier 2, but they didn't keep track of Set's teleport. The teleport was not online for Alezria, but was online for Eons, and that's why the Set was able to get there and turn a 4v4 into a 4v5.
Yeah, absolutely. So with this River Falls team being really squishy in these range characters that they are, just like that from J-Specs, we're going to be hopefully not getting flashbacks too much here, but we got rolled by a LeBlanc, or I believe last season, and having 3 really big squishies, and especially Peach being a melee fighter who doesn't typically build armor or magic resist, they're going to have to be really careful to take their targets. Target prioritization is going to be really key here, but try not to get caught out, especially by this Set. They're going to have to try and focus on getting him CC locked and maybe targeted first, or maybe pick off everybody else that could support him first and around him, and kind of position themselves to where they don't get hopped on, which is going to be really difficult with the movement speed that the Set has, the CC that they provide, and also Xin Zhao just being able to pinpoint, pick his target, go directly into the middle of the fight, and just lay down damage.
River Falls still does have a few win conditions right now. They are stacking Drakes a lot better than KSU have, 2 to just their 1, and the rest of them are going to be Ocean Souls. So again, as we talked about the strategy that they need to win, as long as they can maintain this kind of kite mindset, especially with an Ocean Soul or some Ocean Drakes, you'll be sitting pretty. You'll be able to regenerate that health when you leave combat. Then you'll be able to go back in and poke, kite out some more abilities, leave, heal up with some more of that Ocean Soul. As long as River Falls can continue to kite and stack Drakes, I think that they can just eventually snowball into the win without even doing anything.
Absolutely, yeah. This should be really, really strong for them to get a little bit of health on their side.
Arrow Hunter is going to be taking a lot of damage from J-Specs, though, a 2-level, now just a 1-level advantage, but still, nonetheless, this LeBlanc is going to be a menace. Shadow Flame is already done, as well as the Hextech gun, a Dark Seal, and Pen Boots. Good golly, Miss Molly. Pen Boots and Malignus have been completed for Arrow Hunter. However, it's nothing compared to the damage that this LeBlanc can currently deal at this part of the mid-game. Eerie is going to give out some vision, and now he's spotted 3 members of KSU walking towards the Drake pit. River Falls must be knowing that this happens.
Yeah, the Drake's not up for a little bit. I think KSU's just looking for a fight. They almost picked Wadsworth out really quick there, but River Falls needs vision to be able to really challenge this fight here. But they're kind of standing, just waiting for River Falls to make the first move, and River Falls is going to take this bait, as they do time and time again. Kha'Zix clearing out these wards. The Drake has spawned, so this is going to be a fight for Drake.
Ooh, J-Specs. You got to keep an eye on J-Specs. Kha'Zix just jumping on. Peach half-healthing J-Specs with that little bit of a flash over the wall. However, the Honey Fruits and the Nami are just going to heal up that mid laner up to about full health. Alezria now taking a lot of poke damage. The flash forward from the Set. Haymaker is not going to land just yet. Let's see where it does. Yes, it does. It picks up 3 members of River Falls, and unfortunately, time and time again, the triple kill, a quadra kill for the Set. No, never mind. Still just a triple kill. The LeBlanc will claim the Kha'Zix, and the Annie will fall to somebody else. But the second second Drake for KSU will be claimed.
A really good response here from KSU. They definitely learned something from this first game, and it sounds like Eons is really comfortable on this Set. It's the ability to see, this is exactly where I'm going in. He's got that ultimate that comes out, the Nami wave follow-up, while he's still in the air. So the second that Set throws down, whoever he threw down on, not only gets slowed and stopped by that Set ult, but also gets knocked up immediately after by that Nami ult. And River Falls just gets CC locked, which I think is a huge problem for them.
Yeah, unfortunately, very immobile champs we're seeing on the side of River Falls. The only person that has a dash or a jump is Kha'Zix and Alezria, but Alezria has a very, very short jump, and I don't think Peach is going to be using that jump to get away from anything.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, if I'm River Falls here, I need to take a deep breath and just wait, see where the next objective is. We've I mean, it's not going to be up for a while. We've got maybe 2.5 minutes before the next one because Drake was just taken and Baron was just taken. They just got to take this time to farm and maybe set up for a team fight, maybe see if we can set Peach up onto an assassination attempt. But KSU is relatively playing pretty well together. The set's kind of off on his own lane, doing his own thing, where the rest of KSU is grouped up just like this, where the Xin Zhao is able to rotate at a moment's notice. These three, the ADC, the support, and the mid laner are all, relatively squishy. So if they do get caught out by anybody, they have the CC, they have the healing capabilities of this Nami, and they're able to just wait for the Xin Zhao to get here and provide backup.
Yeah, I think that another issue for River Falls right now is going to be J-Specs on this. LeBlanc flashes forward. It's going to be a counter flash from Arrow Hunter with a big... Actually, the ultimate hasn't even been popped. Tippers is still going to be in the back pocket for this team, and that is a pick that they needed. V1, a shutdown, goes into the pockets, and a lot of gold, very well-needed gold, goes into the hands of River Falls.
Yeah.
Eons maybe next now.
Ooh.
Kha'Zix, Peach hunting him down. Eon's using that stride breaker to slow down the Kha'Zix. It's not going to matter. A slow in turn is going to happen. The Haymaker is not come out yet. Let's see where it goes. Yes, it does.
Oh my God!
Wadsworth sent back to the grave, but they send him back in turn.
Holy.
Eerie almost got one shot as well, but instead Wadsworth took the brunt of it. 1-for-1 trade into that top side of the
allowed?
river. I can't believe.
Is that allowed? Can Set do that?
That's set.
Oh
you gotta,
my
you
God!
always have, that's why I'm always calling it out. You have to be aware of when the Haymaker is available and when it's fully
wasn't even full
stacked.
grit. He charges up that grit. That's that white bar that pulls up right under his health bar.
Have to
the
be
second that hits gold, he's doing insane amounts of damage.
Constantly aware
he wasn't
of it.
even at gold when he hit that button. That's bizarre. I ain't never seen a set do that.
Advantage would still be with River Falls. Wadsworth is going to spawn before Eons just because of the level differential, so it is a worthwhile trade, trading your support for the top laner, who is now 11-1 originally, was 10-0 with a larger bounty.
It's a good paycheck.
So, again, that's what I'm saying. The bounties are going for River Falls. They can still come back. 47-51 is not as much as you would think. Got to be careful in this mid lane now.
Yeah, we've got River Falls kind of spread out. Kha'Zix is close by. They do see the Sivir is cut out by themselves, kind of under the turret still, so not able to push up and really finish this out. But VVI is waiting, just waiting.
Crazy amount of wave clear that this Sivir can offer now. That she had
we
3
might
items.
be picking out.
This is exactly what I was... actually,
J-Specs.
J-Specs maybe caught out right now. Arrow Hunter using all of those abilities just to land the stun. Tippers comes out as well. The clone is going to go up into the jungle, and J-Specs is actually going to flash forward and try to electrocute Arrow Hunter down to 0 health, but no. The shutdown will go to Annie. Another revenge kill for this mid laner right now. Oh my gosh, LeBlanc is so accelerated. That's why she was doing so much damage.
She just...
And sold it immediately.
She sold it. It was a misclick. It was calm down,
everybody.
So that Seeker's arm guard that LeBlanc has is a replacement for what used to be Stopwatch. Stopwatch used to be purchased $650 from anybody. It's a free get out of jail almost. You go golden, you go completely invincible. Nobody can touch you. You can't touch anybody during a couple seconds.
Hey, and he got arm guard too.
Ooh. So LeBlanc did have that, but before that becomes Zanya's, it's a one-time use. So I don't know if they forgot that they had it in the heat of the moment or just saw, there's 3 or 4 members of River Falls on me right now. Don't think I want to burn this right now since I'm not quite able to upgrade this into a Zanya's, where Zanya's is going to offer that going golden for a cooldown that's like maybe a minute and a half, somewhere in that range. So really strong for this LeBlanc, definitely, especially to try and not be assassinated like the assassinator that she is.
Well done from River Falls to identifying where the big bulk of the team is. They spotted and marked Set onto the top side, and they saw the remaining 3 players into the red side of the jungle. So instead, they just collapsed on the J-Specs.
They see all of them are there.
And a misplay from KSU. J-Specs getting caught out onto that bottom lane. You can't have that happening, and that's why River Falls was able to get that tier 1 turret in mid.
Is this Drake going to be up pretty soon? We're at 2 Drakes on both sides. Whoever gets this is going to have immediate priority on the 4th Drake to try and get Soul here. This is going to be Ocean Soul. This is going to provide a lot of sustainability and health in general to whoever grabs that, and it's going to provide a special amount.
They don't see Arrow Hunter.
Ooh, it's going to provide a special amount. Oh, J-Specs getting hopped up by this Kha'Zix with no friends around, so Kha'Zix is going to do extra damage here. Xin Zhao's going to hop on Arrow Hunter and just narrowly avoid that ultimate from Eerie, as Tippers is going to chase him down, and they're going to notice him in that bush. And we're kind of all quiet on the front here, as J-Specs is also going to get caught out again. Some healing comes out from Nami.
They're on the back foot now. V1 going to hit some of the honey fruits, but the slow is going to come out from Erie. Those arrows are going to be doing so much poke damage. This is exactly where River Falls. We just can't be overcommitting. And yes, Kha'Zix, Peak's proving me wrong, using that jump to jump backwards. But unfortunately, LeBlanc is now full health. The stun does land onto the Xin Zhao, but the Nami heals are there. The flash forward and the Crescent Guard will land, but he gets absolutely one shot by the Kha'Zix. J-Specs now into the middle of everybody, but Zanya's in order to not get one shot, unfortunately, for River Falls. All the damage was there on the side of KSU, and it's going to be a 1-for-5 trade. And they may just be marching down mid lane.
They're not even going to try and get this Drake. They're not even going to try and get this Soul. They're just going to try and go straight down mid and try and end this game, as they know if we don't have set, we can't play this game. J-Specs is getting caught out. VV1 is getting caught out. Winter is obviously also getting caught out. And then the Xin Zhao is also dying. So if they finish this fast, they don't have to worry about it, and they can go to game 3. And I think that's exactly what they're going to do, as River Falls has 4 seconds left on Wadsworth, but that's not going to be enough to execute and get an ace. But a really strong game from KSU to show them, to show River Falls what they're capable of and what they can do, and that they are here to play and they are not ready to be kicked around. I think really good, really strong game from both sides. I think we did have some comfort picks from River Falls. I think we can definitely be seeing better.
Absolutely. I think River Falls played the best that they possibly could have. Unfortunately, it was just kind of a comp diff right now with this LeBlanc, as we're used to seeing it. It just did so much. And unfortunately, the set, after he was able to just get accelerated and the Shojins was online before Alezra even had one item, it would kind of spell doom for the remaining members of River Falls, because again, they don't really have a front line other than Alezria, and even then the front line can come to them because of the set ultimate. So I think it was just a draft difference right now. However, I do really like River Falls draft, especially the Melio pick, but unfortunately these are the kind of characters that you can't get accelerated early game. I think that's why River Falls eventually had it slip out of their hands. However, very, very close game regardless. River Falls was always pushing back and punching up, and that's what I'm exactly excited to see in game number 3.
Yeah.
Tied series. We will be taking another short break.
Our producer's gone a little bit, but I want to speculate for some picks and bans for next game. Not particularly the bans, but this is a fearless draft, which means everybody that you've seen from both sides so far from game 1 and 2, we're not going to be seeing them again. So we're not going to be seeing a pick on this set. We're not going to be seeing a ban on this set. We're not going to be seeing anybody that either of these teams has played. So this will be a fresh roster.
Do you know what I want to see right now?
What's that?
A Kiana jungle.
Ooh, I would love to see it. I think KSU has wised up to what River Falls did for game 1 and game 2, which is have a sort of main tank, main bruiser, and then kind of an off tank, off bruiser. And then the rest is ranged kind of squishy. And I hope that we see at least 2.5 like melee ranged bruiser fighters from River Falls. I think if KSU wants to, they can easily draft against a composition that we've crafted for the last 2 games. We can easily, pick. We've seen this Viego in this jungle. We could get a Viego. We could get a Renekton on top side, and we can see Arrow Hunter in his natural environment on a melee fighter. And Bessa's unfortunately out of the pool for him, but he's got a lot up his sleeve, and I think we can see we're gonna probably see another Enchanter on the bot side as well from Wadsworth, as we have been, and then Erie on a really strong ADC here. So
it's going to be interesting to see what we draft in this 1-to-1 tied series of Fearless. We'll be right back.
Get this straight. They're not even trying to get this over. They're going to try and go straight down mid and try and end this game, because they know if we don't have 7, we can't play this game.
The remaining members of River Falls, they are now sitting on the
J-Spec's pick gonna completely turn around and grab this. As Zinzao pops the ult, and the Nami wave comes out really quick. J-Spec's picking up killing this Kha'Zix. And just walking out. The pulse is still there. The set is behind him. Arrow Hunter is low. Worse for Warriors. The Strikebreaker's gonna slow him down. We're gonna catch him out. Fury and Walker are gonna try and get out with their lives. Fury has the slow power, but the Sivir all speeding up everybody on their team. Unfortunately, Walker is also not able to protect it. I was about to say that as it was fighter.
Yeah, let's see where it does get. Yes, it does. Picks up 3 members of River Falls, and unfortunately, time again, the triple kill, a quadra kill for the set. No, never mind. Still just a triple kill. We'll walk through playing the context of the River Falls with somebody else, but no, you just expect some specs. Good one specs though. The Ocean Edge is still
So it's kind of the thought.
these teams. The stun from the Tibbers does, though. Crescent Guard trying to do so much.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, over the bottom lane, they see a 4v4 against Riverfall, clearing out the vision.
I would like to say.
Meanwhile,
Those 4 little icons are right under Arrow Hunter. Good. The eyes are shoot well.
Crescent Guard trying to do it. We want to have two. He got it. It's up.
Let's see.
Hey guys, we are back.
We're back with River Falls versus KSU.
No, he's got a
Sorry.
monotone. Oh, it's a Jarvan pick. And that's what we're. Buddy beep boo, buddy bap boo.
I saw this guy in solo
Damn it.
play, actually. Solo queue.
Renekton is a
Went right up into him.
solo queue blind pick.
He's
I
against his horn, he's gonna really have work is cut out for us. I'm not doing this anymore. All right, welcome back, everybody, to KSU versus River Falls. We got game 3. This is the best of 3, first to 2. So whoever takes this game is taking this series today. And River Falls, coming very strong out of the gates. We're getting a Renekton on a Lesria on top side versus this Ornn. What do we think about the matchup? I think we absolutely love it. I mean, I think Renekton is going to do what Lesria has been doing for the last few games, which is just kind of sustaining himself and just playing on it and just being a solid pick and a solid secondary turret on the top side, just keeping KSU in check and just staying there.
I think the Renekton on the top side, honestly, going to be an interesting blind pick for River Falls.
You cop on me.
Oh my goodness, we love you, KSU. Never change. Running into the mid lane here, though, this is something I want to jump to real quick, is Talia. Gavin, I want you to run this before we cover any other lanes real quick into the in-depth. You play more Talia than anybody in this whole friggin' lobby. So I want to see your opinion against the Mel, because Mel can rebound a lot of those rocks. However, I feel like you're throwing out so many of them. What's the point of the deflect into a Talia?
Right. So Mel, I think the deflect is going to hopefully Arrow Hunter knows this. Hopefully he knows this in the back of his mind. Talia is a really insanely good counter for Mel in my experience. I've played a lot of Talia into Mel for some weird reason. And the E-rocks that go out, it sends out a flay of rocks that if anybody is airborne or knocked up around those rocks, they get boom, piked up by those rocks, stunned. Extra damage comes out for each rock that they go over. And Mel, the only thing that they can really deflect is Q. Q from Talia is a whirlwind. 5 rocks go piercing out and do a little bit of AoE on the point of contact, and then it generates a circle. And then after a few seconds, Talia can recast or just hit Q again, and they will hit an empowered single rock that does a larger area of effect damage. But Mel is definitely going to want to hold on to that deflect for ganks, because the seismic shove from Talia also not going to be able to be deflected by Mel, because it's just something that the ground does. It just moves and pushes you up. So Arrow Hunter is going to have to be really, really careful where he steps with this Mel against this Talia. Talia is going to be a very strong lane bully for the first half of the game and definitely towards the later half of the game. Hopefully this Gwen can jump on her pretty quick. We're going to be seeing another Gwen from Peach here. We've seen her very confident on
the
her
Guangle.
in the Guangle. Guangle in the jungle.
No, the Gwen pick is very interesting, especially into a Jarvan. Jarvan has actually historically been very difficult for River Falls to work around, getting caught by a lot of overgrouping cataclysms that, again, lead to their demise later on into that team fight. However, I think that there's not going to be a ton of follow-up, with the exception of maybe Talia and a couple of Ornn horns here and there, onto that cataclysm, other than just strict damage from the Yunara, which is just going to be basic attacks, right?
Definitely.
So I think that River Falls, as long as they can avoid all of these large engage abilities that KSU is bringing to the table, I think that they're going to be sitting pretty in a state where the game is just going to allow them to scale. Looking at this team comp, I think this is just a strictly better scaling team comp. I understand that the Ornn is going to be sitting on the blue side. However, looking at red side, other than top lane, every single one of these characters scales better than their counterpart.
Definitely. I mean, Ornn is going to do some extra upgrades to KSU's items towards, like level 16. Once he gets level 2 or level 3 on his ultimate, he can start upgrading his allies' items. But it's going to take a while for them to get there, and if River Falls can just simply do, out-damage, out-scale. I think they're going to be looking really strong here, especially on this Smolder. We've got an alum here, Fridgley, UWRF Fridgley is a beast on this Smolder, so hopefully him and Erie have been, conspiring behind the scenes and talking up, and some of these wise words from an alum ADC has made his way down to Erie, so hopefully he's just going to know the Smolder tech, he's just going to take some stacks, and he's going to take it away.
Well, in solo queue, I actually play some of the Smolder.
It's true.
And I think that's where they got the idea from, is the G, the unit himself, playing on that Smolder main over here. But I do love the Smolder pick, especially fitting into this comp. It slots in so nicely. I think that Alezria can actually bully out this Ornn, especially on this Renekton pick, which he is so comfortable on. And I think that the Gwungle can actually start stabilizing the mid and bottom lane enough for Erie to start going towards that 225. And once that threshold is hit, River Falls is just going to run away with the game. I'm calling it here now.
For sure.
I do have one concern, though, is Arcane Comment is a very interesting rune. I don't think it's bad on Smolder. However, I'm just surprised he didn't run Fleet Footwork into characters such as Talia, such as Renata, and especially like Yunara, which is an ADC with a dash, can catch up to the Smolder E if needed, much less a Flash or the Fleet Footwork proc.
Yeah. I think this bot lane duo from KSU is going to kind of just be around. They can really go in at any point. They don't have to really wait for anything. Yunara has some sort of stacking capabilities of her own, but she's really going to be a really strong, just base ADC for the most part of the game. And then especially just like what we saw there, that handshake from Renata Glass from Winter is just going to stop anybody in its tracks. It throws out some nails. If it catches anybody, it roots them. If you recast, you can throw it in any direction. And if that connects with another champion, it'll stun them both again for another short period of time. So Winter has a lot of control on this Renata, especially when the ultimate comes online. And so if River Falls decides to make a move, a little bit of a preemptive move, KSU can definitely respond with their bot lane in a very strong manner.
Looks like we're going to see another scuttle trade in the top side of the river and the bottom side of the river, as the Gwungle is going to pick up the top side, assuming that she doesn't go for a very early gank, and Jarvan is probably going to go for the top side as long as he doesn't go for an early gank. However, like I said, it seems like all the lanes are pretty stable during this very, very crucial early game. Unfortunately for Alezria, Eons is actually bullying him off right now. I think that once you hit level 3, however, on this Renekton pick, and he starts getting some more of those Conqueror stacks, healing himself up, he'll be able to lane dominate. I think that this CS gap is not going to get any wider. Ornn does have a Biscuit, so he will have health advantage and will be able to CS a little bit over Alezria for the first couple minutes. However, I think he's just going to start steamrolling after this first back. Yeah. Both of them are running teleport, so they will be in each other's faces a lot. Yeah,
for sure. He's got that grasp available as well, and for some reason, he's still got half his mana, but he's going to do a back, actually, here and grab some items, it looks like, unless he's... Oh, yeah, he actually is backing and going to grab cloth armor and some boosts, just kind of solidify himself in lane. Ornn can purchase shop items in lane, one of the only character that can do that, and so that he's going to be able to purchase a couple things, but wants to, have an early availability for some extra items here.
So Alezria has a very, very good lane state right now. The wave is crashing into him, and he's able to bring it down into the bottom side of the river, so I think that he really wants to see this Ornn struggle to get any more CS by pushing up into his turret, maybe even closer to the Gwungle as she starts rotating up. However, instead, Alezria, I'm very befuddled right now, opts to just crash that wave or attempt to crash it in towards that mid lane and back himself instead of backing when the Ornn did and popping that teleport. Ornn walked back to lane and didn't use the teleport. It looks like Alezria is going to make that exact same decision. So I think that they're just going to hold it for the team fight. The flash away is not going to be enough from J-Specs. The Talia goes right back into the fountain. A kill, a solo kill nonetheless for Mel in this mid lane.
The execute comes from Mel's passive there. If anybody that gets touched, a minion as well is included. If anybody gets touched in low health executable range from Mel, they just die. They're wiped off, and that's exactly why we saw Tulio sliver of HP, just boom, gone. blink of an eye.
Wadsworth forced to flash and use that Ignite to get away from the enemy bot lane. However, Winter and V1 do have this lane in a position where River Falls wants it. They actually want this wave to start crashing into them so they can get some of this easy CS, and that's very good for the Smolder. This Q, whenever it kills a minion, Smolder automatically gets one of his stacks. So this is exactly what Eerie wants. It looks like he actually got 2 of those when they crashed. Winter going to stop some backs right now. But River Falls doesn't mind it. Like I said, the more stacks on Smolder, the happier this little dragon is going to eat later in the game.
We're about 5.5 minutes here. Glenn is spotted in the jungle here by that Tribush ward from KSU. So I believe I don't think that they popped some vision there. I don't think they caught that ward, but Gwen is going to catch this wave for River Falls to not lose any extra pressure here. And both of the bot laners recalled for KSU, same with that jungler, so they're going to be trying to look for this Drake. River Falls also fresh out of the fountain. Smolder with an early pickaxe and a Kindle Gem on this rel to provide some extra HP and some ability haste.
River Falls did push all of the enemy laners back from the bottom lane, but instead to opt to back themselves. But something that I want to point out is the vision game from River Falls. Elezria, with that situational awareness, saw the bush get pushed out from this enemy jungler on the Jarvan, and he was able to ping exactly where the Ornn was and where the Jarvan was without any wards in the jungle, calling out to his team, hey, Jarvan is up top, you can play a little bit more aggressive.
Oh, Winter was spotted out as the support on mid lane, and then the mid laner and the jungler are going to be moving in on this Drake fight. We're going to be possibly having a little bit of a tussle here. Arrow Hunter is also there. Both TP coming in from the top lane. James, take it away.
Yeah, I think Lesrie is actually going to get there first. The Crocodile is going to be there closer to the fight, sitting in this banana bush, flashes forward and lands a huge Q, dealing so much damage to the entire team of KSU. The first one to fall is going to be the Jarvan. No Drake, no Smite Steal for you. V1 and Eon's now sitting on the back foot. This Ornn is trying to get away, trying to protect the UWRF as much as possible. The barrier is going to be expended from V1. Eerie brought down to about 1 HP, but no, a triple kill for the Mel. Can we make it a quadra kill? Wadsworth trying to give his teammate as much fed, as much feeding, as much stuffing as possible. He's stuffed like a Thanksgiving turkey. Look at the 4-0 Mel as they claim the Drake River Falls. They dash forward. Arrow Hunter's unstoppable. Did I say a 4-0? I meant to say 5-0. CS differentials do not matter when you're on a tear like this one.
I don't know if you caught that, James, but during that fight, everything was kind of peeling towards that topside river and above the Drake pit where Ornn TP'd a little bit too south. They didn't have wards there available for an immediate TP in like Elezria had to just funnel directly in. Ornn called down his ultimate. He can charge at the ultimate to send it back. He sends it back, and Arrow Hunter right in front of him deflects it, sends it right back at him, says, Ornn, you're not part of this fight. Let's take care of the rest of it first. We'll be right back to you. And they did exactly that. They took care of the rest of the team. Ornn was left, and then he was unfortunately just caught out. And the amount of range that Arrow Hunter had just with that Q and the amount of damage that he does so early on in this game is just so powerful for them.
Oh my goodness, Arrow Hunter, like a Joe Biden manager, sends him back to summer camp. It's okay, Grandpa, we can go sit down right now. You don't need to contribute anything more to this fight. And just smacks, ultimate Frisbee SWAT teams him out of the entire engage. That's what I was talking about, is the Ornn ultimate is going to be one of the biggest engagers for the side of KSU. But Arrow Hunter, now I see the value of the Mel pick.
Yeah.
You made me believe. You were like, no, there's a lot more to deflect than you would think in this game. And that team fight is exactly proving to us exactly why it's such a crucial component. And with those 5 kills, we already have a Shadow Flame online.
Yeah, the deflect,
Blackfire Torch. So, excuse me.
Deflect is almost never going to be used against this Taliyah. They could do a little cheeky deflect against the Taliyah's wall if Mel is for some reason just directly in front of the Taliyah when they come in. But that's going to be used against the Cataclysm if we can time it, against the Ornn ult if we can time it, and if we can time the Renata Glask ultimate, send that back on them, that would be also incredibly useful here. Riverfall is going to also secure all 3 of these grubs and completely flipping everything from games 1 and 2 that we've seen on its head.
Winter got tickled right there from Erie's W, and that means that's going to be another stack for Smolder, even though I could tell Winter was just like, don't touch me, don't touch me, don't touch me. The ultimate is available for Eerie if he needs a little bit more help clearing this wave. There's nobody there to support him. Wadsworth is going to be on the way. However, he just allowed that wave to crash and got a lot more stacks with that Q. Like I said, it's very awesome to see Eerie on a character like this. We're used to seeing him with the support mindset on these utility carries, but now to see him on a late scaling hyper carry like Smolder shoulder. I'm so excited.
He's going to be feeling really good after this game, no matter what happens. And Alesria is going to try and get ganked here by this Jarvan. The ultimate, the Cataclysm is available. Alesria going to do some extra surviving with the ultimate as well. Cataclysm right in turret range and just going to get shut down by the Ornn ult as well.
Yeah, the Ornn horn pops wide. Meanwhile, another ultimate is going to go into the bottom lane. Winter now using his Eerie in response, trying to get away as much as possible. Wadsworth using a great defensive ultimate from the Rel to help his boy out. It opts to just jump away. The Shattering Strike will save the life of both the carry and the support player. Now, the Gwangul is on the way. Let's look into the bottom lane. There may be a little bit of a
take support. That's why take support.
Flash forward from Wadsworth. The reset is not going to come in time. It's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. The Yunara will fall. The smite lands on a Winter, but he's forced to flash forward. Not enough damage from the Gwen, but they're still going to be happy with it. Crashing this cannon wave right into the side of the tower.
Mr. Wadsworth, my hat is off to you, sir. Absolutely wonderfully played.
You can be taking out the jokes out of here right now. You're my biggest fan right now. You need to put that
All right,
back on
I'm
right now.
sorry,
Go for
Joe.
jokes out
I'm
of
sorry,
Joe.
Joe.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, Joe.
That's what I want to see right now. What an incredible play from River Falls into that bottom lane. The re-engage, the defensive ultimate. They recovered. There was a topside skirmish. Yeah, there was a gank there. Alesria couldn't really do much. He did pop the Dominus, but it wasn't going to be enough. He had a Cataclysm and an Ornn horn on him. There's nothing more he can do. But they make up for it in the bot lane. Megatons more.
Absolutely. They went in, River Falls went in, and the important part is they didn't go too far in. They could have easily targeted Yunara under the turret, or Renata under the turret, but they didn't. They held themselves to a standard. They said, we're not doing this. We've seen where this goes. We don't want to give full gold shutdown to one of these members of KSU.
Perhaps you know better than I do because I'm just so bad with components. But look at this top lane right now. I understand that the Ornn is obviously building with Bombi Cinder into a very specific item. However, Alesria, you can go a lot of different routes with the Renekton. You can either go the Eclipse route for more damage. You can go. A lot of people like to go Cleaver first, which is very interesting. And some people even go Titanic Hydra, which is another very interesting pick. So I wonder what he's building into. I actually don't know what he's building into right now because of this magical cape.
I'm out.
The MR is nice.
It might just be there.
But I don't know if it's building into something, like with a pickaxe and a sledge. You know what I mean?
Might just be trying to build Merc Treads here.
He might be. Oh, there might be another gank, though. Speaking of which, with this Jarvan, the Ornn horn is available, and I believe the Cataclysm is as well. Yes,
oh
it
my
is the Ornn horn and the Cataclysm.
No, Alesria, not like this.
The tower shots are doing so much, though, and the Q heal is going to be enough to keep him alive for a little bit longer, but it's not going to be enough. The Crocodile is getting cooked up and sent to the county fair. Meanwhile, River Falls doesn't care at all. You can feed up that Ornn as much as you want. You can take as many plates as you want into the top lane. We're just going to be stacking Drakes.
Yeah, we're looking for it. River Falls is looking hungry in all the right areas, right? They're not looking hungry in lanes that they are too pushed up in. They're not looking too hungry on objectives that are going to be contested, and they are not being contested by these objectives. They got 2 Drakes for them. They've got all of these Rift little scuttle bugs to help them clear out some turrets, and now we're buff raiding. We're taking out their jungle on the bot side while the Jarvan is up on top. Gwen is down on the bottom, taking red buff, taking Krugs, and then also looking for a support pick on the Renata Glass, but the Renata's got that handshake available. Jarvan is close by, and the teleport from Ornn is coming in as well, as Mr. Wadsworth, Eerie, and Gwen are all going to have to fight for their lives as some ultimates come out, and the Renata Glass ult goes wide. Unfortunately, not going to be able to berserk anybody from River Falls.
Alesria is here. The reset is going to come through from the Ornn, but it's not going to be enough time. It's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. The top lane, or actually the jungler for the support. Now, KSU is going to be on the back line. Gwen, Alesria, and Eerie are pushing forward, trying to get anything, something. Meanwhile, Arrow Hunter is trying to box J-Specs into the side of the Drake pit. J-Specs forced to flash over the wall, but the ultimate from Arrow Hunter is enough to seal the deal. 6-0 onto the smell. This is exactly what we want to see from River Falls. What incredible team play right now, sitting onto the backside of that fight. But meanwhile, KSU is just chasing smoke. River Falls was just waiting for the ultimate the teleport from Alesria to come in, as they knew that all of the ultimates on the side of KSU were expended. Winter using that ult a little bit too early, not angling it up towards the top side of the jungle, so River Falls got a free escape. The Ornn horn was not available from that gank in the top side, and the Cataclysm was not available again from that gank in the top side. Really poor use of, really poor management, really, of their ultimates, and really not doing well tracking each other as a team on the side of KSU. They need to be more coordinated in this if they want a team, or if they want to beat a team of River Falls caliber.
Absolutely, and Wadsworth unfortunately going to get caught out here by this Jarvan coming in with the pole, and then that little dash that's not going to up anybody in his way, and the Cataclysm's going to land on Eerie, but Eerie has that dash. He's able to just fly out, and Wadsworth also with the movement speed coming out, and he's almost under that turret.
So
KSU's jungler almost got caught out there and almost got some damage in, but Erie's still up. We're still looking good. He's got an Essence Reaver. He's able to do some damage, but he's just going to get out here. Gwen's looking for a gank on this.
Watch Arrow Hunter. Arrow Hunter rotating up from the tier 1 turret of his own enemy. Eons is now getting stunned, trying to go into the tier 1 of his own. Goes unstoppable with that horn, but it's not going to be enough. You can try to cook this game up as much as you want, but he's cold as
That's my
ice.
guy.
Eerie is going to get locked up from the Renata, but just brushes it off, sitting under his own T1. Wow. Misplay from River Falls. Wadsworth does end up falling, but fortunately for KSU,
that was it.
River Falls responded in kind on the top lane with a fantastic gank onto Eons. And now Alesria coming up clutch. This is exactly what I was talking about. He's going to start running away with this game. They have 3 grubs. This is the first game they had all 3
Talia's
grubs.
coming in.
Talia does use that
Talia
ultimate
spots
just to cover.
Talia spots the Gwungle there.
She does.
Peach, again, taking incredible, priority, sees the Jarvan on bot side, sees I already took your bottom side, I already took your red side jungle, I'm going to go take your blue side, take your blue buff, I take your Grom, I get spotted out by the Talia, I'm going to move towards mid, I'm going to take this Scuttle, and just looks so strong. Peach is just all over this jungle.
That's first turret, by the way, for River Falls as well. They can get feats here, I believe, if they haven't already. They might have. I can't really tell.
I think they did, yep.
Yeah,
yep.
They did already get feats. They got... Oh, yeah, because they got grubs. They got 3 objectives. They got all of the first opening kills, and they got the first turret. That is going to be
take this next one.
all of the prerequisites and more for feats of strength. They're going to get those upgraded boots. Rift Herald will also be claimed from River Falls. This Gwungle is paying dividends. This is exactly what we wanted to see from all of the failed attempts previously from River Falls. Peach is now on a redemption arc, 2-0-4 with a 300 gold bounty.
We saw an incredible game from them on this Graves earlier. We saw an incredible... We're in the midst of seeing an incredible game on this Gwen. She's really redeeming herself with these games, and she's ready to just take this to the bank, say, yeah, I did all those things. Yeah, we can do it again.
River Falls now just... dotting the T's and crossing the I's.
Pushing in some lanes, what's the Jarvan to do at this point? Yeah, he's got his Krugs available. Yeah, he has his Wolves available. Or no, he had his Raptors available. The Krugs just got back up. He had the Raptors and he had the Wolves. That was it. He was looking for a full clear. He got a little bit.
It's so interesting to see how KSU is so scared of this Gwungle that they warded up the entire side of their jungle. Meanwhile, River Falls did ward 2 inside of their jungle, but have 3 wards sitting around the Drake pit.
Yeah, and Eerie uncontested against this Orin, just kind of peppering shots, doing a little bit of stacking here and there. As we're going to be setting up for a fight here probably on Drake pit. I think KSU is sick of having objectives just taken from them and funneled into River Falls pockets. So they're going to try and set up and force a fight from River Falls here as they take T1 top side as well.
Teleport is available for Alesria and J-Spec, so both of the individuals that are in top, just as I'm saying that, both of the individuals in top can teleport for this fight, but instead they're teleporting towards the turret.
They're going to take that
This
top,
fight
that
is
mid
not
T1.
starting quite yet. Alesria might just walk down. Gwen gets Cataclysm, does not have the dash to help herself out, but she does have the W
Oh my
to negate
God!
all of the incoming damage. Meanwhile, after 1v3ing and succeeding, Alesria is there for the backup after teleporting to the ward. Meanwhile, into the mid lane, they kill one of their own. Eerie Wadsworth and Arrow Hunter, the dream team, are marching down into this tier 2 turret. And oh my gosh, across the board, River Falls is coming up pretty.
This is the team play that we love to see. Gwen was getting caught out. Gwen had the CC control, that little bubble around her that kind of just makes any ranged ability, just negates it completely. The only reason they lived there, they started dashing up. They picked a kill off of that Jarvan, I believe.
The Cataclysm stopped the Jarvan's teammates too.
Yes, and then right after that, Alesria swooped in right after that TP, just charges in and just finishes up.
And Gwen was at full health, so she went back in too to help. And that's exactly why River Falls is going to secure 3rd Drake. This is going to be a Mountain Soul, which I don't have to tell you. Wadsworth finally on a tank support with Mountain Soul in the game.
Get this off me.
Yeah, baby.
I got the pecs of a Malphite. You are ready to see this.
Oh, these rock hard abs from just getting so tensed up from these games. Goodness gracious.
It's all just prowess.
Cheeks are clenched so hard together right now. You have no
Hey,
idea.
you gained like an extra 3 inches.
I know. I was about to say, I feel taller all of a sudden because of the intensity these games are bringing to the table right now. I love it. I can't get enough of this in my life. I'm actually really excited that this went to 3 games because that means we get more League of Legends tonight.
Absolutely. I love to see it. We're seeing a lot more push in the bot side jungle for KSU as River Falls is still spread out the map. Gwen is still very promising in this jungle, taking out some more camps, keeping up buffs, maybe able to do some buff sharing here in Erie. Gonna have to be a little bit careful. We don't know where the Talia is. They're in the bush nearby. But the Yunara does look a little bit appetizing as that ADC is just still a little bit weak. Don't want to make too many moves. River Falls has been the victim to too many of these types of plays. And the Talia is actually just going to roam straight through mid and go towards their bot. And Yunara is going to pick up that red buff, do a little bit extra damage, and River Falls might be trying to bait a fight out here for Otacon. Cataclysm is up for Jarvan, for KSU. We might see something here.
Oh, this is exactly where the pig gets pushed through the python.
He wasn't even able to Cataclysm.
Is summoning the fight and bringing it to the side of KSU. A member already dead. The Jarvan did die at the beginning of that exchange. Winter on the backline is getting shredded by this Gwen. Now V1 is going to be the next fall. No, it's actually going to be the Ornn and then the Yunara to follow. J-Spec's the last living member trying to make something work, but you can't take out River Falls when they're on a streak like this. Otacon will be the reward.
I love it. I think that was just perfect. Picture perfect. I mean, Mr. Wadsworth died. He expended all that he had. That aftershock giving him a little bit of extra lane sustainability. He popped a locket of Iron Slurry, giving his entire team some extra temp shield in the midst of that fight, and he fell as the most gracious soldier could possibly ever fall.
Oh my goodness, well executed from River Falls. Again, this Mel pick is proving more and more to me that this is exactly my lack of understanding with the mid meta right now. Arrow Hunter proving that an 8-0 and 2 Mel can carry game. Who would have thought somebody this accelerated could just be doing so much damage and providing so much utility. I didn't realize how many projectiles that they had that could be deflected. The Renata ult, I'm pretty sure all of Yunara's abilities are also projectiles other than the dash, so... I don't know. One hell of a pick right now.
Ooh, the Gwongo and Wadsworth are looking for something. They don't see the Ornn there. Ornn in prime charging distance.
That's okay. Wadsworth can face check as a tank now.
If he charges directly into the wall, the Ornn can knock up anything in the immediate vicinity, but he's not able to get in there and really do something. Cataclysm does come out from Jarvan. Even if he doesn't get a takedown during that little gray health bar, he does not get revived. The Redemption pops off and protects the rest of River Falls here, and Gwongo with a triple kill.
Yeah, big triple kill for the Gwen. Again, utilizing that W right there, negating all sorts of damage. This may spell doom, but no, predicts it the wrong way. Eons, what are you doing? You don't have vision for that. Gwen is just going to get away. Lesser just split pushing this all. Not even split pushing. Sitting behind the team, just taking the tier 1. You guys got it.
Yeah, we don't have any.
Peach isn't going to die. Look at the 9-0 and 7. You guys don't need me. Are you kidding me right now? That was such an ego play from Wadsworth and Gwen. I love it. I can't get enough of it. And again, like I said, the W usage negating all of that exterior damage. KSU just hasn't figured it out yet.
Yeah,
which is weird. They play Xin Zhao.
River Falls has historically taken those fights offhand, and they get slapped for it, and they didn't get slapped for that. I don't know what this team is. I don't know what's going on, but River Falls is just showing up.
They're reaching into the cookie jar, and they're not pulling out oatmeal raisin, my friend.
No.
They're getting double chunk right now. Every single fight, River Falls is winning. I can't believe this.
River Falls is still spread out as KSU is still protecting their bot side.
Don't do it, Peach. Arrow Hunter's here too. I thought that an Aurora would be a better pick for Aaron, but like I said, this Bell is just absolutely unstoppable right now.
Cataclysm's up. All ult looks like, except for that Ornn ult, are up for KSU.
We might have a fight in the bottom side right now. Let's keep an eye on Mr. Wadsworth front taking. I love the tank pick right now. The Rel is exactly what this game needed. Arrow Hunter peppering up Eons, not doing a lot of damage with this Ornn being so tanky, but is able to get enough vision to maybe prep up for some sort of soft engage. There's no wards on the side of KSU here in the bottom river.
Take a deep breath. We're the eye of the storm right now. It's been the first part of the storm has been the last 24 minutes. We're in the eye right now.
This 5 seconds has been amazing.
It's going to come back. Don't worry about it.
Regain my voice.
KSU's got to fall back and regroup, and the ball's just going to take it on.
Mountain Soul. This is exactly what we were talking about. Wadsworth on these tanks. Gwen being a little bit tanky herself, and Alesria picking up the Shojins, getting a little bit of tank right there themselves. They ended up going for the Eclipse build instead of the Cleaver. That's totally fine, doing a little bit more damage. But now with the Mountain Soul, you don't have to worry about tanking.
Who needs tanks with a team like this?
Oh my gosh, Peach, don't do it to him. Okay. I thought there was going to be some crazy shenanigans going on.
He's a little bit too big for this one. He's got the Koenig Rukern. He's got the Runt Rukern. But the Ooh, they got Bramble Vest, so they have a little bit of anti-heal on this Ornn as well. But this turret's going to fall. Talia's going to try and cut him out, but Wadsworth is there. Wadsworth can just jump over.
TP.
The Cataclysm comes out as well. The Ornn ultimate does get rebounded, and the Berserk Wave comes out from the Renekton as well. But Eerie is able to respond with the Smolder ult, just burning everything up, and Wadsworth is in there. I don't know what he's doing, but he's keeping them entertained.
Battle Rel, let's go! Arrow Hunter TP'd in now with a full item under his belt and a needlessly large rod. He's doing so much damage to help out his team with the combined strength of this Gwen and Smolder. He's not playing Aurora, but he's got Aura. And in the words of the good old Joe Exotic, you know that you were going to get urinated on once you got in here, right? Mm-hmm. I can't believe my eyes right now. River Falls taking it 2-1.
Oh,
they didn't come here to see the Tigers, Gavin. They came here to see the Falcons. And the Falcons clean sweep the entire team of KSU in a 2-1 victory.
They sure did. Absolutely wonderful plays from both KSU and River Falls. River Falls taking Game 3 after a well-pronounced entry in Game 1 and then a response in Game 2 from KSU. And then just a, why did you even come here for Game 3?
Well, leave your situations at the door, because River Falls is jumping on that dance floor, and they are boogieing it up to a victory. Thank you for joining me here tonight, Gavin. We are going to cut the stream loose for you guys.
I don't think
we
we
actually
are.
do. Oh, maybe we don't. We have a surprise guest.
There's our Eerie. That's our ADC boy just showing off.
You
Just
wanna
at
do a
the
little
end.
bit of an interview?
Oh, you want to do it?
Oh,
I think he's ready. I think he's ready. Eerie, come on down.
Biggest fan needs to
You know you love being on the camera. We got the camera up for you, dude. How are you feeling? You're in your element. I gotta say, the Seraphine pick and you and Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
That
That was practiced for 2v2 yesterday
Oh,
for
yeah?
about 20 minutes, and that was about it.
It was
But-
great. I loved that.
Yeah.
That was you looked really at home with that pick.
Thank
Loved
you.
seeing it.
My Seraphine support, you know, I played support for a long time.
Yep.
Played at ADC.
Yeah, we loved it. I mean,
No big deal.
that first comp was just so good for you. Everybody
yeah.
being just grouped up. The encore just goes out. The stuns come out, and then they just get wiped off, and that's it.
It was.
Uh-huh.
That one felt a little too easy.
So I gotta know.
Yeah.
I hear the Ashe pick is really a comfort pick for you at home.
Yes.
That Smolder game. Tell me about that. I have not seen you seen you on Smolder. Have not heard Smolder out of your mouth. I was kind of speculating. Fridgely told you about a little bit of something.
No, actually.
No?
It was actually. It started with Peach. Peach telling me play Smolder in ranked. It's really broken.
Yeah.
And so I've been playing some Smolder. I mean, I haven't played in like a week or two, but Lily, this game was like, Smolder looks really good
Do it.
here, and I was
Yeah.
like, hey, I'm
We had
down. Like I like Smolder.
We had a really good stacking team. We had a really good way to just play the beginning part of the game solid and just kind of stalemate. But it's not really a stalemate when you guys are stacking.
I mean, especially with the Arrow Hunter. I mean, come on,
Yeah.
like Aaron was just getting solo kill after solo kill.
It was
That's crazy.
awesome. We love to see him wherever he is and whatever he's doing.
Absolutely.
So huge thank you guys to all of River Falls teams, and especially to you, Eerie, for also being on the cast. Thanks to James for always being by my side on this camera. We will see you tomorrow, I believe, with some Smash or Overwatch, and we'll also be back on Friday with some other League of Legends, or not League of, some other leagues of esports of whatever they are. But we will be back on the League Cast next Tuesday with another game. So we'll see you then. Have a wonderful rest of your night, everybody.